Crooked Fanny playing dirty tricks in the courtroom. She always picks, bending the rules. She'd know win, but I won't let her get under my skin. Down in Georgia, where the blues run deep, crooked justice, a secret they keep. But I see through her lies, I see the truth. Gonna make her pay for what she do. Fanny's got a reputation to uphold, but her tactics are shady. Story untold, she thinks she's clever, but I'm on to her game. I'll expose her ways and put her to shame.
Hey, yo, folks, and welcome. Oh, come on. Start doing that. There. Hello, folks, and welcome. Welcome. Yeah, we left off yesterday at lunch, and because I had stuff to do, and need to take care of the family. And yeah, so we didn't get to Max Schardt and his cross-examination. Now, I got home the final half hour, so I kind of know where it went. Not how it began, but Mr. Schardt is an excellent and seasoned attorney. So I would assume, just as the thumbnail, started off nice. Wheeling him in, wheeling Mr. Copeland in, and then went for the, yeah. So, but I do have a nice portion of you guys who more or less only watch me, even though I tell you, watch everybody, but some people just shows me, which I'm eternally grateful for. So we need to get into it. And I haven't seen big parts of this cross-examination, so it will be new for all of us. So let's just get on with it, shan't we? Dun, dun, dun. There, so we see Mr. Schardt as well. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right, let's go.
We good?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Schardt, you can proceed with your cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Mr. Copeland.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Mr. Copeland, we have never met before. Isn't that correct?
No.
Okay. We've seen each other in the hallway.
No, we never met before.
Yeah, we never met before. My name is Max Schardt, and I'm the attorney that represents Shannon Stillwell, okay?
All right.
All right. And I know you've been asked a lot of questions, and I'm going to try not to repeat questions that you've been already asked. I'm going to do my best.
All right.
All right, great. You do not want to be here today.
Hey, all.
Okay. And the reason you don't want to be here today is not because you're scared, correct?
You know that.
Okay. It is because what you said in 2015 was lies.
You said it again?
What you said in 2015 were lies.
Right.
Okay. And specifically, when you said that Demekion Garlington told you something at that McDonald's about Mr. Stillwell, that was a lie.
Right.
You lied to get out of trouble.
Right.
You lied as part of your finesse to the police.
Right.
You've testified that if the police mentioned anyone, you were going to come up with a story about them to get yourself out of trouble.
As y'all seen,
And the police mentioned Jeffrey Williams.
right,
They called him a big fish.
right,
And you lied on Jeffrey Williams.
right.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, I'm going to ask you, do you still have that listening device?
Huh?
Do you still have the listening device?
What's it?
The ear-
Earbuds.
Oh, they right here.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to play a clip for you. Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you play what has been marked DS-23O? And for the record, this is a clip from State's Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo, which is the June 10th, 2015 interview, and it's from 9:53:35 to 9:54:10.
How long you been doing shit? Long as through hell. Okay. You've been doing shit a good part of your teenage adult life, correct? Y'all.
Mr. Copeland, is it not playing on your?
It just popped up.
Okay. Could you start it all over again for Mr. Copeland?
How long
I like the tone of Mr. Schardt. He is very explanatory, and yeah, this is, I mean, it's a continuation of Mr. Steele's excellent cross-examination and the other attorneys who were nice to, even though some questions were really difficult, they were nice, they were respectful. And I think Mr. Copeland, he just wants to be treated with some human respect, which the prosecution's team do not have. They more or less see him as a tool, the prosecution, not as a human being who deserves at least basic forms of respect. And I believe that is how you get information from a witness. At least treat them with common decency.
you been doing shit? Long as through hell. Okay. You've been doing shit a good part of your teenage adult life, correct? Y'all basically grew up together, right? Went to school together. Y'all, my brother. You, Demikian, and Shannon. That's from what I know. Yeah. So I can pretty much assume that if it's something like that that they did, even if you weren't involved in it, you know about it. Because I'm telling you, everything kind of keeps coming back to you. You understand? Because Shannon out there on the street now.
Okay, what's going on in chat? What's this? Peanut? What is that? Drink? What? Okay, some folks, somebody needs to explain something. What is this? What's going on? Folks, don't keep me in the dark here. What's going on? Not. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's continue. Apparently.
Okay. In that clip, Investigator Gaither is asking you about Shannon, correct?
This sound like it.
Okay.
I can't barely hear it. That's why I took the headphones out.
Are they not working?
No, it is like the way I can hear, it's not clear enough for me. That's why I had to listen like out loud.
Okay, I understand. All right, well, we're going to do our best to work through that, okay? All right. So, regardless, in that clip, I'm going to ask you about that clip, and you can, if you didn't hear it, you didn't hear it. Investigator Gaither tells you that while you're in the interview room with her, Shannon is out on the street. Isn't that correct?
I just heard it.
Okay. Investigator Gaither says to you, if Shannon's involved in something, you know about it, correct?
I didn't hear it. I don't think I heard it was just the last part where she said he on the street.
Okay. You now realize that the police were saying some things, such as Jeffrey's on a European tour, or Shannon's on the street and you're in here with us, to try to get you to tell on other people, correct?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Is that how you took those statements at the time?
I don't get what you're saying.
Did you take those statements when Investigator Dennis told you that Jeffrey's on a European tour while you're sitting in the investigator's room, or Shannon's on the street while you're in the interview room? Did you take those statements as invitations to give information on other people?
Yeah, that's what they were doing the whole time. He got these big houses and cars, and that's what I think that was Dennis kept saying it all the time.
Okay. And these conversations and Investigator Gaither talking about Shannon, then that's not the only time law enforcement talked about Shannon in your interviews, is it? They would talk about Shannon a lot.
Yeah, right.
And let me ask you this. These interviews that we have, are those the only time you talk to the investigators about this case?
No.
Okay. You would have phone conversations with investigators, right?
Yes.
Phone conversations with Investigator Gaither that aren't recorded?
What you mean?
Did you record the phone conversations?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever heard a recording of the phone conversations?
No.
Okay. So as far as you know, phone conversations with Investigator Gaither, you had those, right?
Yes.
And as far as you know, they're not recorded.
Yeah, this is one of these things that, I mean, if a cop is talking to a suspect or a witness, it should be recorded. How else can we verify what is going on?
We had a conversation that I ain't heard.
How many conversations would you say you had with Investigator Gaither from January 1st, phone conversations from January 1st to
We
say
talked a lot.
June 10th? Weekly, daily?
A lot.
Okay. What about Investigator Thorpe? You talked to him on the phone?
No.
Okay. What about
But I did, but
not as often?
yes.
Okay. What about when they bring you to the interview room? Okay. Obviously, we see videotapes of you in the interview room. Do the police talk to you outside of the interview room before you go in there?
Yes, they do it all the time.
Okay. And are those conversations about what you need to do?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And what officers had those conversations with you to your recollection?
Shit, everyone they help me.
Okay. So the bottom line is you said that the state were asking about Jeffrey when Mr. Steele was asking questions, right?
Yes.
Okay. The reality is the state was also asking about Shannon.
Yes.
And the reality is you didn't only lie on Jeffrey, but you also lied on Shannon.
Yes.
And you also lied on Mr. Kendrick, correct?
Yes.
You remember when Attorney Steele showed you that video from the Texaco gas station and asked if you saw Jeffrey Williams walking around the Texaco changing cars?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to play that video again.
Thank God.
I don't think you're the only one that's saying that. But when you watched it, you didn't see Shannon changing cars at that Texaco either, did you?
No.
Oh, okay. Here. First of all, John Commune, thank you. Thank you so much. Says, I was showering at the gym this morning and the drain's back up. Thanks, Woody. Okay. And Cat Not Williams. You glorious human being. Thank you so much. 20 memberships gifted. Thank you. 2. It's Just Later. Jay Sneed, KTG, LaShawn, Morgan, Jedi Jen, Truth Always Wins, Eslo, JT, Mary Sid, Mandus 13, Zena B, Mrs. First Lady Lamar, Scott Gardner, Lovan, Govin, Marquaz Smith, Nita Tickle Sved, Sniper 79, and Gap Girl and Heis Outdoor. You all got gifted memberships. So now you have access to all my members only content, members only emojis, and if you look at the community section on my YouTube, you have the link to my Discord, and that Discord is for you guys. So you can connect and get to know each other better. I will be there once or twice a week answering questions and posting silly things. But that is mainly for you guys. Thank you so much, Cat Not Williams. Thank you. And Cat Not Williams, well, she has access to my StreamYard, so she can join anytime she wants to. Anytime she wants to. Thank you so much. All right. Let's continue with this. So, yeah, in that video, no Jeffrey Williams, no Shannon Stillwell. Ta-da!
Regarding these lies you told in 2015, you have repeatedly told the state that they were lies, correct?
I have told everybody who listened to me.
Okay. I want to ask you about, you mentioned it briefly with Mr. Steele. Remember that on June 10th of this year, we're talking about this year now. Remember when you were in the judge's chambers?
Oh, yeah.
I'm listening.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And just so we're clear, you didn't request to speak to the judge or the prosecutors, did you?
I had no clue where I was going.
Okay. And you had been in jail the weekend before,
Yes.
and guards brought you to the judge's chambers.
Took me straight in there.
Okay. And when you were brought to the chambers, Miss Hilton was there, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
The SWAT team.
security, whatever the word you say in the SWAT team. I was not there.
No, I didn't see you.
Okay. Mr. Stillwell wasn't there.
Who?
My client, Mr. Stillwell. Shannon.
No.
Okay. And none of the other defense attorneys were there.
No.
Okay. I want to ask you about some things that were said in that interview. Now, you're aware there was in that meeting on June 10th. Okay. Now, you're aware that there's a transcript, correct?
I heard.
Okay. Have you seen the transcript?
It was sent to me, but I didn't never look.
Is he entering the transcript? Oh, please, please. Enter the entirety, everything.
It.
If I ask you about things that were said in the meeting, would looking at a transcript help?
I guess.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Well,
may
we
I
can barely
approach
read, so
with
I
what's
don't
been
know.
marked as DS-33, which is the transcript from the June 10th, 2020?
Yeah, but I mean, ask him about it first. Ask him about it,
Oh,
and
okay.
then if he needs to see it, then
Okay.
you can give it,
Okay.
you can hand it to him, but
Thank you. Don't look at this unless you need to, okay?
All right.
there you go.
Mr. Copeland, in that meeting in the judge's chambers, did you tell Ms. Hilton that you've never been truthful in your life? Except when you're telling them that you're a liar.
Right.
In that meeting, did you tell Ms. Hilton that, I won't get the quote. So when the police question me, they don't question me every time they lock me up. I don't know how many times that was. I done told them whatever different story I could think of to try to finesse my way out of the situation. I don't recall what I told them.
Yes.
Did Ms. Hilton tell you when talking about lying? But if I know that you are lying about that, I do not intend to do that. If I know that right now he's lying, I know he's lying, I'm not going to charge you because I don't know your reason for doing that.
Did she tell me that?
Yes.
Yes.
It seems like Mr. Woody was properly prepped.
You were offered immunity by the state, correct? Well, not offered. I say that you didn't want immunity, but they gave you immunity.
Yes, they forced it.
Okay. To Ms. Hilton, did you tell her, I did these crimes?
Yes.
Okay. A bit out of context, but no objections.
And they
Okay.
have insisted that you testify, correct?
Yes.
They have told you it's okay if you say, I don't recall, when asked about your prior statements, correct?
Huh?
They told you can say, well, let me back up. In preparation, the states met with you several times in June of 2024, right?
I don't know what you're asking me.
Okay. Take yourself back to June 2024, okay? That was before,
What year this here?
This is 24, so a couple of months ago is what he means.
a couple
Okay.
months ago, right? Before you testified at all. You remember the week before you testified?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You remember when the state and Ms. Hilton and maybe some other people started coming to find you in the community?
Yes.
Okay. You had a lawyer at the time, right?
Yes.
His name was John Melnick?
Yes.
Okay.
Jonathan Melnick.
To your understanding, did the state, when they were trying to find you in the community, did they reach out to your attorney or did they go behind your attorney to talk to you?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
So
To your understanding?
on the relevance, I mean, we've kind of been through all of this.
Can I,
Try a different question.
was Mr. Melnick there for those meetings with Ms. Hilton in the community?
No.
They took you to the courthouse one day before you were to testify, correct?
No. 2 days.
2 days before you were to testify. And was Mr. Melnick there for those meetings?
No.
And you told the state that what you said in 2015 was lies.
I told Ms. Hilton.
Yes, Tashwana. Sounds like coercion to
Okay.
me too.
I'm going to change subjects, okay? Now, I'm not going to ask anything too personal, but I'm going to ask a little bit about your life, okay? Is that okay with you?
No.
All right. Let me ask you this. At some point in your life, you lived in Mechanicsville.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. And as I understand it, your life hasn't always been easy.
My life ain't never been easy.
Okay. Your life has never been easy. And there have been times where you have been in dangerous situations in your life. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. I want to ask you about some ways that you avoid dangerous situations. Okay. When you are approaching a stoplight, a red light, do you stop at the red lights?
Objection, Your Honor, relevance.
It's very relevant.
I assume he's going to get to it.
Do you stop at the red lights?
Hell no.
Okay, you said hell no.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you stop at red lights?
Because I want to live.
Okay. And when you say because you want to live, what are you afraid of at red lights? What is your concern?
Somebody pulling up on the side of my car.
Someone pulling up on the side of the car and shooting you, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
And so when you pull up to red lights, you might stop briefly, but then
I'm not stopping at all.
okay, so you just keep going.
Right through it.
Okay.
yeah, okay. I would imagine that if you're living that life, you're on constant watch. That's not going to give anybody the chance. So, okay, burning through red lights. Okay.
I appreciate you telling us that information. And is that during the day and night?
There's no any red light.
Okay.
If the police right there, I turn off.
And you've actually told the police this in a prior interview in 2021. You told them that you don't stop at red lights, correct? You told Investigator Flores that.
Probably did.
Okay, what about tinted windows? Do you prefer to drive cars with tinted windows?
This a must.
That's a must. Why is that a must?
So people won't know I'm in their car.
Why don't you want people to know you're in that car?
Cause they like to shoot at cars.
Okay, so is that
sorry, muted. I talked on a number of occasions about why does these people still have tinted windows when they know cops will pull them over. Now I know. If not tinted windows, so other gangsters won't see you. Less risk of being shot at. So yeah, risk of cops pulling you over is better than risk of being shot at. Now I know. Ah. Didn't know that.
a form of self-preservation, riding around in cars with tinted windows only?
You better.
Okay. And let me ask you this: with the red lights, are you the only one that does this, or are there other people in your in Mechanicsville or in other areas that do that as well, to your knowledge?
Speculation and
Well,
relevance.
he said to your knowledge, I think. I'm
To your
gonna allow
knowledge.
it.
Most of the people I know run lights.
Run lights. Okay. What about the tinted windows?
Even my sister and them got tinted windows.
Okay. Finally, I want to ask you about wearing a mask. And when I say a mask, I don't know what to call it. So maybe if you can educate me and the jurors. Talking about a cloth mask with a hole right here.
Mhm.
Okay. What do you call that type of mask?
Shit, different stuff. I call it a mask. Some people call it a shiesty. It just got different names to it.
Okay, I'm just going to call it a mask, but to be
Alright.
clear, we're talking about the same things. And you've worn those masks before, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he driving around in a balaclava?
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
That's not
Mr. Copeland, I am
intimidating at all.
DS29A and DS29B. Okay, are those pictures of you?
Look like it.
Okay, and are those pictures of you? You're not doing anything illegal in those pictures, correct?
No,
Okay,
I'm incorrect.
correct.
I'm not doing that illegal.
You are wearing those masks I talk about in those pictures, correct?
Right.
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you publish 29A and
They're not admitted yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I move to admit DS 29A and 29B.
We object to relevance.
I assume this is going to be kind of the same lines of testimony. They're admitted over objection.
Mr. Kokomo, could you just publish one of them, 29A? Okay, we're going to publish 29B.
Okay, let's see. Is it a balaclava?
Okay, now, Mr. Copeland, on your screen, that's the type of mask we're talking about, and I just want the jurors to be able to
Ah,
know what we're
That's a
talking about.
balaclava.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are those masks made of?
What you mean?
Like what material?
I ain't naked.
Are they made of cloth?
I don't know.
Okay. Are you the only person to wear those masks?
No, everybody wearing them.
Everyone wears those masks. What year did you start notice everyone wearing those masks?
When COVID came,
About 2020?
when COVID would cause us to wear the mask.
Okay. And are they,
Am I silent? Almost distant? Hold on. Is this better? A ski mask's fashion? Okay. Is wearing the mask an overt act? I don't think so. I haven't seen it in the indictment.
It became more like a fashion thing.
that's what I was about to ask you. It became more of a fashion thing.
Right.
Okay. And where can you buy those masks?
Shit. Anywhere.
Gas stations sell those masks?
Yeah.
Okay. Corner stores sell those masks?
Beauty supply store, all that.
Okay. They're not rare.
All right.
Huh?
They
They're
did.
not rare.
They did.
They're not weird.
Rare. They're not. Unusual. They're common.
Right.
Those masks are common.
Mhm.
They come in all different colors, all
Yes.
different sizes.
Yes.
Just because you're running a red light, does that mean you're committing a crime? Other than a driving infraction?
It depends on, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Well, do you do it to preserve yourself, correct? To avoid being shot.
Right.
Yeah, avoiding being shot is not committing a crime, is it?
You're just protecting yourself.
Okay. When you're riding around in tinted windows, you ride around with tinted windows to the grocery store and other places you go about on your everyday life, correct?
Can I say objection at this point? I just don't know if this is a relevant line of questioning.
I'm asking
Well,
because it's
it is
relevant.
cumulative.
Okay, well, I have one more question.
Okay.
When you're wearing that mask, you just wear that mask in your everyday life, when you're going to the store, when you're going to run errands, doing whatever, correct?
Right.
All right, thank you. Okay. Mr. Copeland, you said that Rice Street is the worst place in the world.
Yes.
You have said that you'd rather die than go to Rice Street.
Yes.
Okay. You talked about your stay in Rice Street in, I guess it would be February 21st of 2015, when they arrested you on that probation warrant, and you stayed there for several weeks, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember exactly how long you stayed there?
Yes.
How long?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Okay. So that would have been February 21st to the middle of March of 2015.
Yes.
Okay. And in that, first of all, in Rice Street in general, there's dorms, right?
Not where they put me at.
Well, I'm just talking about in general right now. I'm going to get to where they put you at in a
Yes.
second. There's dorms. And then within the dorms, there's cells.
Yes.
Okay. And the cells, how big are the cells?
18 and some ones, 16s and other ones.
Talking about feet?
You say cells?
Yes.
Like rooms?
Yeah. How big are the rooms?
Yeah. 18 rooms and some, 16 and some.
The individual rooms are small, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And everything is made of either concrete or metal, correct?
Yes.
All right. Most of the time you have a cellmate.
All the time.
Okay. No privacy.
Correct.
Showers in common areas.
Correct.
Toilets. You don't get a special room to use the bathroom.
Right.
Okay. It's filthy. You talk about feces.
All the time.
When you on the ground, on the walls, things like that.
Yes.
Standing water in the showers.
Who?
Standing water.
We call it nut juice.
What do you call it?
Nut juice.
Okay. Okay, now I understand that prior thing you posted, not used. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh. Yeah, you don't see that in the store, do you? No, I've seen a lot of weird packaging stuff. In Germany, for instance, they sell sauerkraut juice as sauerkraut juice. I once saw a package of milk that was suggested for the United States market, which said, once opened, store upright. So yeah, no, not use. No, that's new. I need an emoji for that. I need Can somebody make a not use emoji and DM me it? That's so.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Schardt, let's get on. We're painting the picture. Let's get on with what you want to ask.
The filth in Rice Street. To avoid that filth, you would be willing to tell lies, correct?
Correct.
All right. Let's talk about the danger of Rice Street. What's a shank?
A knife.
Okay. Knife made of just a random piece of metal, correct?
Whatever you can make with.
Are,
Whatever you find.
are shanks common in Rice Street?
Is they who?
Common.
What you mean?
I keep using that word. Is it unusual for people to have shanks in Rice Street? When I say people, I'm talking about the inmates.
You saying do they have them?
Yes.
Yes. You better have one.
Okay. And is it a concern of yours that someone that doesn't like you would have a shank in Rice Street?
Yes.
Okay. You know jail, you know Rice Street to be a particularly dangerous place, correct?
Yes.
And it's a particularly dangerous place for you, correct?
Yes.
You would lie to avoid the dangers of Rice Street, correct?
Yes.
I want to talk about the isolation. Okay. In February of 2015, you were arrested. And let's be clear, you feel it was a bogus probation warrant, correct?
It was.
Right. You were on probation and they accused you of not completing your community service.
And I didn't even have community service
Right.
to do.
And even if you did, you never heard of anyone getting locked up for failing to do community service on probation.
I even called my probation officer and she said she didn't do it.
Right. I understand. And so when they locked you up in February of 2015, they put you in isolation, correct?
That's what you want to call it.
Well, you said, I think the way you described it was the medical unit. There was sick people. It was disgusting. People were talking to themselves.
Yes. People were doing worse stuff than that, eating their stuff.
Okay. You would lie to avoid going back to that place they took you and put you in February of 2015, correct?
It's my now?
No, I'm talking about on June 10th of 2015. You would have lied to avoid going right back to where they had you 3 months earlier.
Right.
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS23Q, which is States 378 Yankee Echo, June 10, 2015 at 4:16:13 to 4:16:36.
Do I need to listen to it?
I would appreciate it if you did. Thank you.
Man, I bet you did in jail anyway. I'm just saying. What I'm saying is, man, I do whatever it takes. Whatever, man. I hate jail. I promise you God, man.
Because you think you want to be out.
I'm gonna take these niggas guns and bring to y'all myself. I would set them up myself. I would do whatever it takes. I will, man. I will.
Ms. Kokomo.
So Woody told the cops, I will do anything to not go to jail. And with that knowledge, the cops knew. Okay, let's see what information he can tell us that we lie or not that we can use.
And that was you and Investigator Dennis on June 10th, 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you told Investigator Dennis that you'd rather be dead than be sent back to jail.
Still will.
Okay. And you said you will do anything to stay out of jail.
That's what he said?
And do anything includes lying on others, correct?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Copeland, we're going to change the subject a little bit. I want to talk to you about some of these statements you made to the police, okay? In 2015. All right. And let me just ask you, you said, I don't recall a lot when when Ms. Hilton asked you about things that you said in your statements in 2015, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that was 9 years ago? About?
I guess.
Okay. In these meetings that the DA's office or Ms. Hilton or whomever had with you in June of 2024, prior to you testifying, did anyone offer to play those statements to you to remind you of what you said?
No.
Did anyone give you a transcript of what you said in those statements so you could review them before testifying?
No.
They just told you, if you don't remember, just say, I don't recall, correct?
Yes.
The reality is they just wanted to play those statements. That's why they wanted you here today, correct?
Objection or speculation.
Sustained.
Let's talk about January 11th, 2015. Okay. That was in the early morning hours of January 11th, 2015, right?
Wait,
You met with Detective Thorpe. in
Oh,
the
yes.
Early morning hours of January 11th, 2015. Okay. And you stated you went to that meeting. You went voluntarily to clear your name, correct?
yes,
Okay. And you met with Detective Thorpe at the police headquarters, correct?
yes,
You knew Detective Thorpe to be the lead investigator on the Donovan Thomas case. That's
You know how I like to ask an AI songwriting app to make songs?
Cold steel walls, shadows creep. Stains on tiles, secrets keep. Broken souls, dreams bereft. In the showers, no mercy left. Water drips on cracks, cement. Ain't no peace and no repent. Lifeless eyes stare straight ahead. It made whispers, prayers to dread. Not just running down the drain. Echoes of our lost refrain. Chains and ghosts haunt this place. Freedom's just a memory's trace.
Should I do it in rap? Yeah, I should. How do I reuse? No, not the reuse prompt. A song about prison showers called Not Use. In the style of mumble rap. No. Create. Let's see what this gets us. Dun dun dun. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now it will take a while for it to. Now, song is ready. Well, it's up and about, but it takes some time for it so I can download it. So let's listen some more to this first.
what he told you.
I can't remember.
Okay. Certainly, he asked you questions about the Donovan Thomas case, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And let's just talk about the timing of this meeting. If, and I know we're saying it did not happen, I want to be clear on that. If Demekion had told you something at the McDonald's, right?
now listen.
This meeting with Detective Thorpe would have been hours after Demekion made that statement, correct? It would have been the same night. just after midnight.
But he never told me that.
I understand. I understand he never told you that, but I'm saying if he did.
Are you saying that
The meeting was mere hours after.
it would have been?
Right, it would have been. Okay. And Detective Thorpe asked you about the Donovan Thomas shooting, correct?
That's what his purpose of calling me down there.
And you showed up, and you went through your movements that day, correct?
Yeah,
Your movements from January 10th, 2015.
I think I did. He asked me where I been. That's what you asked me?
Right. And you went into details about everything that happened that day, correct?
I guess.
Okay. That meeting on January 11th, 2015, you never claimed that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon Stillwell, Diamante Kendricks, Duwop, and Nard killed Donovan Thomas, did you? You never told him that on January 11th, 2015.
No, I didn't.
Okay. And the reason you didn't tell him that is because you hadn't made up that lie yet, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about January 28th, 2015. That was your second recorded statement. And I understand what you've testified to. There may have been phone calls and all sorts of other communications in between there with police. But January 28th, 2015 was your second recorded statement. Okay. You met with Investigator Dennis.
Okay, folks. I haven't listened to this one yet, but here is Not Juice rap version.
Drip drop, water cold as a night clock. Slipping on the tile, ain't a friendly spot. Steamy like the sun up, but the vibe ain't hot. Sneakers sitting high, say a prayer on the dot. Voices echo out like a haunted house. Shivers down the spine, can't escape the mouse. Eyes shifting fast like a powder warehouse. Back against the wall, that's the jailhouse joust. Nut juice dripping, man, it's slipping on the ground. Ain't no innocence here, everybody's down. Bars might close in, but we're still battling the sound. Showers turn to prisons and the lost and the found.
All right. Now we have to hi, Mrs. R. Where did this? This is from an app called Suno.com. It is not. I'm not sponsored. I wouldn't mind being sponsored. So it's Suno.com. And you just write in the prompt up here, and then in the style of the song, and they will give you suggestions. All right. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm posting it on Twitter under my name at N.Starow Niklas. And I pinned the lead attorney in, as you told me to. All right. All right. I'm having way too much fun with Suno.com. Ah, Belle Louise, member for 4 months. Hit the like, y'all. Good morning, Nick and chat. Oh, well, I think Cat Not Williams is her chat who came up with, I don't know. She's more clean. She's more of a clean channel than I am. Half my streams get demonetized because I use foul language and stuff. So just as long, no curse words, because YouTube's is very, 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 they don't like them. So rephrase it to something else, if you wouldn't mind. Other than that, don't get me yeeted, folks. I'm capable of doing that myself. All right, let's continue with the trial.
Investigator Gaither and Detective Thorpe on January 28, 2015, correct?
I don't know the date, but yes.
Okay. And they certainly asked
No
you
courts
about the
today,
Donovan Thomas shooting, correct?
Friday or Monday.
I don't remember what they asked me.
Okay, well, I'm going to play a clip, but you would agree that January 28, 2015 would have been 18 days after, if Demekion Garlington had told you that information, it would have been 18 days later, this statement.
I guess. I don't keep up with time.
Okay, 28 minus 10 is 18. So 18 days between January 10, 2015 and January 28, 2015. You with me?
All right.
All right, cool. Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS20A, which is states 378 Yankee Beta from 722.37 to 724.40.
Yeah, who do you think killed that? You're prime suspect, but move yourself out there.
Okay, did you hear Investigator Dennis ask you, who do you think killed Nut?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Who you think did?
I'm about to say
I'm just saying, like, word on the street is, you've been tried and convicted within the street.
Now they said 2 of my other partners, well, not so good, but
Who?
they my head and up. But they ain't have anything to
Who
do
was
with it.
that?
Not locked up.
Who was that? Kurt.
I think it's your name. Cause I stand like Missy. Yeah. So they saying they did. Yeah, he had out. They saying they did. You know what I'm saying? They trying to make shit
What
like.
do you think? Like, what do you think? What do you think happened?
Okay, right there, you said to Investigator Dennis, when asked who you think killed Nut, they're saying, meaning the streets, right?
Right.
Streets are saying Head and Doc, who are two people you know.
Right.
Those are street names, Head and Doc.
Right.
Streets are saying they did it, but you don't believe that.
Right.
Okay.
Like, real shit.
I think it got something to do with them. I think they did something. They got another beef somewhere else. Cause I didn't hear stories like they're supposed to ran off on somebody with something. You know what I'm saying? But they
When you said, I think it had something to do with them, you were referring to If Gang, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I paused in the middle. I probably shouldn't have, but you started talking about the rumor was Nut ran off with something.
That's what I said.
Okay. And something would be narcotics.
Yes.
Okay.
It's uncooked. The only reason I'm here because I'm with Thug and Birdman, and he come back to them. So they're supposed to ran off on somebody with something, and so I don't know if they didn't say what it was. He's like, he's supposed to ran off on them with something, and Rich Homie Corn supposed to give him $50,000 to meet a new club. Like Rich Homie Corn told him this out your mouth. Yeah. Then Rich Homie Corn like he got $25,000 to have T killed. It's like from the picture you just showed me. Nah, tell who just got shot last night. Oh, in the car. Yeah. Okay. He got 25.
Okay. So you continued to say that the rumor was that Nut, or I should say Donovan Thomas, you said Nut, ran off on someone, and that something would have been narcotics.
That's what I said.
Right. Nowhere in that answer did you say, well, Demekion Garlington told me that Shannon and Mr. Kendricks and Doo-Wop and Nar.
There's a mysteriously lack of objections from the prosecution here, because they have tried to paint Donovan Thomas in the best light. Here, he is not in good light.
Killed Nut.
I did say that.
You didn't say that on January 28th.
I didn't say that.
Correct. I'm going to ask you to listen to what's been marked as DS20B, which is that same interview from 7:50:56 to 7:52:50.
You never spoke on.
Why do people say Birdman has something to do with all this?
Because that's what they gonna do. They gonna do what they, like, I realize it. You know what I'm saying? They say they back me up. It might be, but they paying for it. So,
They finance it.
yeah, that's what they saying. So I just like, man, whatever.
What about Nut stole his watch?
So what?
Birdman watch.
I doubt it. So when you gonna burn that house, you not gonna go anymore. The shank car right there. But, like, every time you burn that house, you go in the living room. Don't nobody go in the room.
What about Kels and Greedy stealing the watch? Stealing from the club?
You never heard anything back.
What about Kel knocking off Nut? Doubt it?
I ain't gonna say I doubt it. Ain't.
Never heard that.
I don't say I doubt it. I don't know. Because when him and Joe, like, he was like, I'll let, I'm telling Nut like this. You know what I mean?
Big homie.
Yeah, like the big brother, like I'm telling like about. Yeah, like he just like I got to tell Nut what he need to say. I'm looking at like, I got to tell Nut, but I ain't never seen that. Like right here.
What about Thug knocking off Nut?
Like I said, I really can't say like when it came out of Nut, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. Who did you hear? You said that you heard just in the streets that Head and who's the other dude? No, but they said they got locked up for it. He got locked up with a gun, they killed Nut and all this shit. Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, like,
It'd be like, it'd be 50% true, 50% false.
it'd be 100% lie.
No, he did get locked up.
Okay. So in that clip, Investigator Dennis is again asking you about your theories about who killed Donovan Thomas, correct?
That's what I heard.
And he floated a theory about Birdman being behind killing Donovan Thomas because Donovan Thomas stole a watch of Birdman's, right? You heard that?
Yes.
And you said you don't know anything about that or you doubt it, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then he asked about Greedy. And Greedy is Donovan Thomas's brother, right?
I guess.
Okay. And you said you didn't know anything about that.
Right.
Okay. And then he asked about Kel.
Yes.
Kelvin Watts, Kel, killing Donovan Thomas. And you said you never heard anything about that.
Yes.
And then he asked about, I think he said Thugger. We're talking about Jeffrey Williams. And you said you don't know nothing about that.
Right.
Correct? All right. That second time when you were asked about your theories about who killed Donovan Thomas, you never said that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Nard, and Doo-Wop killed Donovan Thomas, did you?
Because he didn't tell me that.
I understand. Okay. I'm going to play DS20C, and I'm going to ask you to listen to this clip as well.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
My girl, she get a lot of information.
These two cops in broad prison stripes is still some of the funniest things I've ever seen presented in this trial. For you who don't know, when somebody goes to prison over here, when they are, well, they come there in civilian clothing often, because sometimes they have to wait for their cell or their prison time, their prison spot. So so they are being dressed in prison stripes until they are booked. Well, everything taken care of. They are in the cell. They get their introduction and stuff, and then they get the regular prison clothes. So yeah, both cops, Thorpe and Gaither, in prison stripes. And I think it's fitting because those two assholes, how many people have they put in prison? How many people have they screwed over the years? I would say quite many. Maybe there were criminals they put away, But you have the Constitution. You have the Bill of Rights. It is supposed to be done by the book. You're not supposed to write the rules yourselves. So it is quite fitting.
Shout out friends, so they be around me. Lucci and them was talking in the studio, and there was a girl in there. We met one of them, and she was my girlfriend. And she said that they nobody can do that. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? They was all like Kill and K robbed somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Kill who?
K.
Okay.
I sent you pictures there to them. I think I sent to those. They had chop on in the picture.
Oh, yeah. And the gentleman in the car.
Yeah, them two robbed somebody, and they supposed to came back. They was talking about the studio. You know what I'm saying? They just put my name on it. They covered it up.
Make it seem like they ain't got beef in the streets, whatever.
Yeah, and then they like, she be like, they know we can't do it. You know what I'm saying? But they gonna keep playing on him. And she be like, K, when the nigga got killed, K first one called everybody like, we killed Nut. Tell them on we did. He's the first one started my name. And like K went along with it. So they had J Ross, like then they did, like Nut died, then they started.
That same day?
I don't know when. They like, they J Ross, and they supposed to come back for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, K Ross, Fly, Club, Fly. He wrote one of them.
So in that clip, Mr. Copeland, again, you were asked about your understanding or what you've heard.
Yes, I have, Little Pill. I have. I've heard about it, and I asked an AI songwriter to make a song.
Drip drop, water cold as a night clock. Slipping on the tile, ain't a friendly spot. Steamy like the sun up, but the vibe ain't hot. Speakers sitting high, say a prayer on the dot. Voices echo out like a haunted house. Shivers down the spine, can't escape the mouse. Eyes shifting fast like a powder warehouse. Back against the wall, that's the jailhouse joust. Nut juice dripping, man, it's slipping on the ground. Ain't no innocence here, everybody's down. Bars might close in, but we're still battling the sound. Showers turn to prisons in the lost and the found.
Yep. I have no idea what number 68 is. Maybe that comes later.
About who killed Donovan Thomas, correct?
Right.
And you said that you said that your girlfriend or a female friend of yours was at the studio and she was told that Kel and Kay had robbed somebody.
That's what I said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And the people that Kel and Kay robbed came back and killed Donovan Thomas as revenge for being robbed.
Yes.
And you said that Kay then started putting it on you to cover his own tracks.
Yes.
And you also specifically said your understanding was Kelvin Watts, the robbery he did was to Fly's plug.
Yes.
Okay. And so we're clear. Fly is Mr. Jervin Henry. Do you know his government name?
No.
Okay. He's someone who runs clubs, correct? And runs TIG, the record label.
I guess.
Okay. And when you say plug, what do you mean by plug? That's a drug distributor, correct?
That's just a phrase that we use. I don't know.
Is it involved in the drug game?
I guess.
Okay. The bottom line is you gave, on that third clip, you gave some more information about things you heard, but you never said, detectives, let me tell you, Demekion Garlington told me that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Duwop, and Nard killed Nut. Did you?
I never said it.
Right. And the reason you never said that on January 28th, 2015 is because you hadn't made up that lie yet, had you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had, or no, you hadn't?
I haven't.
Okay, and the reason you hadn't made up that lie, let's just be clear, on January 28th, 2015, no one was trying to lock you up, right?
I just didn't have no reason to.
Right, you had no reason to finesse at that time.
Right. They lost like I was.
want to ask you about February 20th, 2015. On that date, you met with investigator Curry, correct? And let me just, I think his name is Curry, it might be Kerr, but it was the investigator about those people shooting at you while you were holding your baby. You remember that?
Yes.
And you remember that investigator?
I remember, I didn't know their name, but yeah.
Okay. And that would have been 40 days if Demekion Garlington had in fact told you that my client and others were responsible for Donovan Thomas's death. That would have been 40 days after you received that information, if that had occurred, right?
I don't get it.
Okay. It would have been a little bit over a month. February 20th, 2015 is a little bit over a month from January 10th, 2015, correct?
Gotcha. Yes.
Okay. And you were asked in that interview about the Donovan Thomas situation, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know.
All
I
right.
can't.
Well, you didn't say anything about Demekion Garlington telling you that Shannon and Mr. Kendricks and Doo-Wop and Nard had killed Donovan Thomas in that interview, did you?
No.
And the reason is because you hadn't made up the lie yet, right?
Right.
February 21st, Detective Gaither and Detective Thorpe had you in there. And they were arresting you for that bogus probation warrant, right?
Yes.
And you knew it was bogus. You didn't think that it was actually going to stick, did you?
Right.
They asked you about the Donovan Thomas case. And this would have been 41 days after Demekion supposedly gave you that information, right?
Right.
And you never told them that Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon, Mr. Kendricks, Doo-Wop, and Nard killed Knott, did you?
Right.
We can agree that in the 4 recorded meetings prior to June 10, 2015, you never claimed Demekion Garlington said those things about my client or Mr. Kendrick, correct?
Right.
Okay. So let's talk about June 10, 2015 and what makes that date different. On June 10th, 2015, okay, we're going to that interview. You with me?
Yes.
All right, appreciate you. You met with Investigator Gaither, Investigator Dennis, Investigator Thorpe, and Federal Agent Cunningham, correct?
No. I didn't meet with him.
They brought you to the interview room and they came in the room.
Yes.
Okay, you didn't choose to meet with them.
No.
All right, and let's just talk about the circumstances. And I'm going to show you a picture that's already in evidence. I believe it's 378 Yankee Echo 1. If I may approach and get that right.
You may.
Okay. Brandon says, oh, here we go. I have no idea what's coming now.
Shaq, you don't have. Now approach.
You may.
I'm handing you what's been marked as 378 Yankee Echo 1. That's Stacey's in. That is a picture of you in the interrogation room on June 10, 2015, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to just wait till we can display this. Okay. All right. Can you display it? Oh, actually, don't.
For those who wonder, I'm playing this in 1.25. I have somewhere I need to be in about 2.5 hours.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Atkins. All right. Mr. Copeland, when you go to jail, you wear a blue jail outfit that's given to you by the Fulton County Sheriff Department, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it says Fulton County Jail or Fulton County inmate on the shirt and the pants, correct?
Yes.
You absolutely hate wearing that blue outfit, correct?
Without a doubt.
Okay. In this picture, you are not wearing one of those blue outfits. You're wearing street clothes, correct?
Right.
Okay, but let's just be clear. In that picture on June 10, 2015, when you're being interviewed, your hands are shackled together, correct?
Yes.
You have leg irons on, correct?
Yes.
And the leg irons are attached to an anchor on the ground, so you cannot get up and run,
And they're
correct?
hurting.
And they're hurting. And you knew that it was only, unless something drastic happened, it was only a matter of hours before you were going to have a blue Fulton County jumpsuit on, correct?
Yes.
The circumstances of you being brought to that interview room on June 10th, 2015, were federal agents kicked down Miss Quarterman's door that day, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and they kicked down that door looking for you because they had an arrest warrant for you.
Yes.
They had an arrest warrant for you for the April 28th, 2015 possession of a firearm incident at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
Okay. And while in the apartment, they saw some things, correct?
Yes.
And they went and got a search warrant.
I don't know.
You're not sure if they got a search warrant. Okay. The bottom line is they searched your apartment.
They did.
Okay. And they found a Smith & Wesson handgun in the kitchen of that apartment, correct?
They found a gun. I don't know what kind.
Okay. Was it a handgun?
I never saw it.
Okay. They also found a stolen laptop computer in your apartment, correct?
That's what they said.
All right. They also searched Deshaun's car, correct?
No.
Well, didn't they find stolen IDs and other stolen property?
That was a rental car. Oh,
Okay.
her mama rented.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that clarification. They found a stolen IDs and other property in a rental car that was associated with you, correct? That you had been driving.
Yes.
And also on June 10th, 2015, your daughter's birthday was coming up.
7 days.
7 days from that date.
Yes.
And you had plans to have a big celebration for her birthday.
Yes.
Even though you didn't have a blue jumpsuit on during the interview, investigator Gaither informed you that you were under arrest for various charges, correct?
Yes.
And you were under investigation for various other charges.
Yes.
Okay. She told you that you were being charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon for the gun at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
She told you that you were being charged with reckless conduct for leaving the gun on the bleachers at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
She told you that you being charged with gang charges for possessing a gun at the Dunbar Rec Center.
Yes.
And you knew that you knew that you weren't getting a bond for the gang charges at
Right.
first appearance.
Right.
You were going to have to sit for a while because of those gang charges,
Yes.
unless something drastic happened.
Yes.
You were also told that that they were investigating the stolen MacBook computer found in your apartment.
Yes.
You were told that they were investigating the stolen IDs and other property that was found in the rental car.
Yes.
And investigator Gaither told you that she knew that stolen property found in the rental car was taken during a series of auto breakings in the area, correct?
Yes.
You also had a Henry County bench warrant.
Yes.
I believe you had another bench warrant out in the city of Atlanta involving a four-wheeler. You don't remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay, that's fair. And eventually, investigator Cunningham also told you that you were facing potentially federal charges
Yes.
for the gun that was found in the apartment, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Investigator Gaither told you it's real now. It's about to be real, right?
Yes.
What'd you take that to mean?
Exactly what she said.
She was telling you the way you took it, it was time to get to talking, correct?
Yes.
If you wanted to get out anytime soon.
Yes.
They told you that there was no way around that charge at the Dunbar Rec Center, that it was on video,
Yes.
that you were dead to rights,
Yes.
that they had all the control in the situation, correct?
Yes. I think it's an open and shut case.
And let's be clear. Even though you don't have that jail uniform on in this picture, you were thinking about how you just got out of jail 3 months prior. You had just been in jail in that horrible unit with feces and people talking to themselves and people eating whatever they were eating and the isolation. And you were thinking about that on June 10, 2015, correct?
Yes.
Could you play, Mr. Kokomo, could you play what's been marked DS23B? And this is from States 378 Yankee Echo 94048 to 94229.
Okay, what you're here for is your warrants from number 6. Can you tell me what's going on with that? Can you tell me what's going on with that? With that weapon? How'd you get it? Number 1. Because I got a version of how you got it. I want to hear from you. How'd you get that? How did you get it? I got it. Because we got the video, bro. We got the video. So my question is to you, how did you become in possession of that? When we're going to do back and forth today, I know y'all.
We ain't going back and forth today. That's what Investigator Gaither told you.
Say that again.
We ain't going back and forth today.
Right.
You took that to mean that they are in complete control, correct?
That's what it means.
You took that to mean that you needed to tell them what they wanted to know, or you weren't getting out, correct?
This is it. That's what I took it as.
Keep like
You are, because I should say, wait, this is an opportunity for you to help you. I'm asking how you.
Okay. You just heard Investigator Gaither say, this is your opportunity for you to help you. Heard that?
Yes.
You took that to mean that this is your chance to give the state or give the police what they want to help your situation.
Nah, this is game time. It's time for me to finish my way.
Okay. And do you remember when Attorney Steele played that video? I guess it was yesterday with Agent Cunningham talking about the federal charges. Okay, I'm not going to play that video again.
Thank you.
But I am going to talk to you about a few things that were said. What you asked, I got charges with the feds, and Agent Cunningham said, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. The police are telling you that you can talk your way out of this situation if you work with them, correct?
Yes.
Agent Cunningham told you you're clearly guilty. She told you that they had you dead to rights. Do you remember that?
I think she said open and shut case.
Okay. You took that to mean they have complete control and you need to play their game if you wanted to get out, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Agent Cunningham told you about the charges you were facing. She told you that federal sentences don't have parole.
Yes.
No early release.
Yes.
She told you that with federal cases, they don't typically let prisoners stay in Atlanta, right?
Right.
She said that they were typically going to send you to some other state to serve your federal time behind this.
Right.
You didn't want to be separated. You love your daughter, don't you?
With all my heart.
You post about your daughter on Instagram and you're proud of
Yes.
your daughter, correct?
Yes.
And you consider yourself a good father, don't you?
I try to be.
Okay.
Yes, this is recap of yesterday because I had plans with Miss Viking yesterday afternoon. So I only did up to lunch. So I am recapping what happened after lunch. And so far it's been really interesting. Have you noticed how slowly but steadily Mr. Schardt is putting more and more pressure? He started out very nice, very thoughtful, and he, starting to put pressure. I think this is great. Now, apparently there have been some difference of opinion about if he did good or not. But remember, his client is facing life in prison because of what Woody told in those interviews. So it is his responsibility. And also, he has been in this court before. he has practiced for quite a number of years. He has long experience going, okay, how is the jury reacting to what I do now? So just have to trust his judgment.
And you did not want to be separated from your daughter in some federal prison in another state, did you?
Who want to?
Understood. And Agent Cunningham also said that to her understanding, you're a 3-time convicted felon, making you an armed career criminal in the federal system, correct? Remember hearing that?
Yes.
She told you that you were facing 15 years without parole, plus another 10 years without parole for the gun charges, correct?
Yes.
25 years without parole, and that's not even including the conspiracy charges.
Right.
You were 23 at the time, and Agent Cunningham told you, if you don't play ball, you're going to be locked up in a federal prison in another state until you are 48 years old. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Wasn't that said to you?
Yes.
On June 10th, 2015.
In the interrogation room.
Agent Cunningham also said that all this is up to you. It's totally up to you, right?
Yes.
She told you that she reports to the U.S. attorney, and she can tell the U.S. attorney what you did to help yourself out.
I think we all heard what she said to me.
Okay. Well, what did you take that to mean?
That I need to help myself out.
Okay. Does that include lying on others?
That means that this is my chance to get myself out of this situation.
It was time to finesse?
Yeah.
Could you, Mr. Kokomo, could you play 23E? And for the record, Your Honor, DS23E is States Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo 1031 to 103250.
Do you understand the right that nothing happened? Do you understand the right that nothing happened?
Yeah.
What was he? And
I don't know. I didn't know he
he was like the third or
was.
fourth ranking blood in Georgia.
But what I'm saying is, bro, that was between third and ninth.
When you go to prison, your name is on there, regardless of if you did or if you didn't. Thug ain't in jail. Thug ain't in jail. Thug on the European tour, whatever the fuck.
Did you just hear Investigator Dennis pointing out while you're in the interrogation room, Thug, Mr. Jeffrey Williams, is on a European tour?
I couldn't understand nothing that was said.
Okay. Did Investigator Dennis bring up the European tour that Jeffrey Williams on? Is that something you brought up, or Investigator Dennis, to your recollection?
I guess he did.
Okay. Can you keep playing?
The one that's going to go courtside for that, and that don't protect the custody. It's you. So you want to have to speak on what you need to. You need to speak on what you need to speak on. Help.
Okay. Did you hear Investigator Dennis say that you were going courtside?
Yeah, I can't hear it the way it sounds.
Okay. And that's okay. Did you hear him? I'm just going to keep asking. If you didn't hear, you didn't hear. Did you hear him saying that there's no protective custody?
I don't know what he said.
Okay.
I can't say I can't.
Did you hear him say you need to speak on what you need to speak on right after bringing up Jeffrey Williams and the European tour?
Y'all ears work better than mine. So you heard what he said.
Okay.
I can't say.
Okay. I'm going to play another portion of the clip. I'm going to ask you to listen, but I understand if you can't hear it, you can't hear it. Can you play?
That's what you got to think about.
I'm still going to jail. Hey, you going to jail. But you can determine how long you want this to happen.
Did you hear Investigator Gaither tell you you're going to jail,
I heard it.
but you get to determine how long?
I can't hear it again.
Yes.
What you got to think about.
I'm still going to jail. Hey, you going to jail. But you can determine how long you want this to happen.
What did you take that to mean when Investigator Gaither says you're going to jail, but you get to determine how long?
She gave me hope.
And what would you have to do to determine? You wanted to not be in jail at all, but certainly not long, correct?
Right.
So what did you feel you needed to do?
Listen to her and seeking out from this my way out of it.
Does that include lying?
That's the first thing first.
Okay, Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS23D, which is states 378 Yankee Echo, 10:04:20 to 10:06:25?
Again, very, very few objections from the prosecution. Very, very few. Because in the middle of all this, Schardt is carefully painting the picture of not being quite a criminal, and no objections from the state. And they have objected about that characterization, about not in out of juries when they litigated during the pause, about not painting not up as a criminal.
I ain't had no boys like the shooting, none of these. I didn't have no boy. I mean, I didn't even do it for the thing. I mean, when they started doing this shit, everybody call my name because they out. Who did it? They didn't even come name in these songs. It ain't even me. I mean, the way y'all look at me, y'all supposed to be sending them like this.
Did you just hear yourself say that people are accusing you of things?
Bro, I can't hear nothing in there, bro.
Okay, could you play that again, Mr.?
I can't hear it. You can play it 1,000 times.
Okay, we're going to try it one more time because I think it's important. But Mr. Copeland, if you can't hear it, we'll move on, okay?
Y'all ears are better than mine.
I understand that. I'm not blaming you.
I ain't had no boys like the shooting, none of these. I didn't have no boy. I mean, I didn't even do it for the thing. I mean, when they started doing this shit, everybody call my name because they out. Who did it? They didn't even come name in these songs. It ain't even me. I mean, the way y'all look at me, y'all supposed to be sending them like this. I mean.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, did you hear yourself say, I just hang out with Thug for the fame?
No.
Okay. Did you hear yourself say that people are saying that you're committing these crimes, certain crimes, but it's not you?
I didn't hear. I heard. I said Shannon's name, but I don't know what I said with it.
Did you hear? Well, do you remember? Regardless of what you heard, do you remember saying everything that people are blaming me for? They need to look at Shannon.
I probably did. I can't hear what I said.
Now that you have this immunity agreement from the state, you acknowledge that you were committing crimes back then, correct?
What do you mean?
Well, you've acknowledged it, and we're going to get to it later, but you've acknowledged that you shut up Rich Homie Kwan's dad's barbershop, for instance. Right? You testified to that.
All right.
Okay. So when you said, I ain't doing nothing, when people are blaming me, they need to be looking at Shannon, that was not true. That was you trying to shift blame from yourself. That was you finessing.
But I already said it.
I understand that. But that's an example of you finessing, correct? And shifting the blame from you to Shannon, right?
I said that to you, and I said it to them, and I'm saying it again. I have lied, and you're gonna keep sitting here asking me the same question you just said a minute ago. You weren't gonna ask me the same question.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna play something not that you said, what other people said to you, okay? And I'm gonna ask you to listen. And if you can't hear, you can't hear, okay?
All right.
I mean, I can't take care of my kids, man. I mean, fuck that, man. I ain't did nothing. I ain't shoot the houses. I ain't shot nobody. I mean, man, only I had a gun because the judge told me, man, I had the right to defend myself. Because the same night I got killed, I came out here. I was gonna kill him, but then I was just thinking like, man, they need to throw it out power, man. Even right now, I'm still thinking about it. Like, shit, man, I just fuck myself up, man. Just worse.
Yeah.
You want to say?
I don't know. I'll make that decision.
I ain't got no foot.
Keep going.
I will talk to the USA. The judge thinks.
Did you hear yourself ask Agent Cunningham if your case is going to the feds?
Yes.
Did you hear Agent Cunningham say, I don't know, I just talked to the AUSA?
No.
Okay. Keep playing.
Decision on, what's going down there.
I ain't got no foot.
But you were, I don't know if you had no part of that. That's yet to be determined. But you had every part of the gun that was found today.
No, you keep saying the gun don't found today. I didn't have that gun. Though like she said, y'all no fingerprints. My fingerprint, I would come back on the gun.
Do you know what actual constructive possession is?
Stay around.
Yeah. Be around.
But I didn't know what it was in there though. Just like she said, she didn't know. I didn't know. Man,
Somebody do. The baby didn't know. She like it.
now this is what I'm saying here. Me and her just, know what I mean, we were there. Know what I mean? But I wasn't there yesterday.
But you were there this morning when they found it, sweetheart.
You know how I got there this morning? You know,
Well, that's irrelevant. You were there. When they came and brought you up, it was there, you were there. That's all I need. That's on you.
so what you need me to do? I did something.
I mean, that's on you.
This is on me. It ain't no way I can get out of it.
Help yourself.
I'm trying. There's a
Help you. That's you talking. That's your start.
I mean, these investigators know that Woody is a first-class liar. And they still want him to talk, to get some information.
Did you hear yourself, Ms. Copeland, ask Agent Cunningham, what do you need me to do? I'm just trying to get out of jail.
Yes.
Okay. And did you hear Agent Cunningham respond, you help yourself. You help yourself.
Yes.
Help us help you.
Yes.
You're talking, that's a start.
I said yes.
Okay. Help us help you. Did you take that as it was time for you to finesse, to start telling stories on others, to get yourself out of the situation?
Yes.
I got one more clip I'm going to ask you to listen to, Mr. Copeland. And this is actually from February 21st, 2015. Ms. Kokomo, I'm going to ask you to publish what's already DS24A, which is already, it's a clip from States Exhibit 378 Yankee Delta from 433:33 to 436:11. And again, that's from the February 21st, 2015 interview with Investigator Gaither and Detective Thorpe, okay?
on me. You know how they got me in jail? They got me in the back. Ooh, somebody protecting me. If you feel like you need to protect me, why don't you get me out of jail? No, bro, it don't quite work that way. It's understand.
Now, you recognize that as Detective Thorpe's voice, correct? He's not on the video. He's off the camera, but you recognize that as his voice, correct?
You play it again?
Yep. Just back up 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, bro, it don't quite work that way. It's understand. It is not working. You're not gonna have it your fucking way. I ain't trying to play my will.
You remember Detective Thorpe telling you that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to ask you to listen to what he tells you. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page with Detective Thorpe, okay?
I haven't done no. Hear me out, because you need to get somebody we're gonna talk real shit to you. I ain't gonna fuck around with you. I already gonna tell you. I'm not gonna hold your hand. I'm not gonna help you cross the street. None of that. Hear me. You locked up for probation violation. Whatever happens between you and the parole board and the probation unit, that's on y'all. That's on y'all. Now, myself and Detective Gaither, we're gonna take time out of our off day to get you out of jail and talk to you to see whatever information you give, we use to help you. What you gotta give in order to get. All you want niggas, all you want is give me. But you want to give nothing back. I didn't finish. I didn't ask you alone. Cool, and I told you before, you and I, we're not gonna do 68. I'm not gonna blow you and you owe me one. No, it don't work that way. You understand?
Oh, a 68, not a full 69. Okay, now I get it. Yeah, as I'm hearing this, these completely incompetent cops are encouraging Woody to keep making up stuff because they know he's a bullshitter. They know.
You understand what I'm getting at? Because I don't fuck around with you no more. You want people to help you out, but then you stand and stop at the certain line and say, well, you figure out the rest. I got the information.
So, Ms. Copeland, that was on February 21st, 2015. You would agree that Detective Thorpe made these comments to you before you first lied and said that Mr. Garlington told you the information on Shannon and others, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And Investigator Thorpe said, I ain't gonna F around with you, right?
yes,
You have to give in order to get.
yes,
You want to say, give me, give me, give me. You don't give back.
yes,
And of course, the give me was you getting out of trouble, getting out of jail, right?
right,
Okay. You and I, we aren't going to do a 68. I'm not going to blow you and you owe me one.
right,
You said that?
yes,
Did you understand the message that he was getting across when he said that?
right,
We are not going to no DA and say, you cut us a break and he ain't give us nothing. You heard him say that?
right.
Go ahead.
I have the information, but I'm not gonna say anything else. Y'all
Okay, so now you know what a 68 is, which is not a full 69. Do you know what a 70 is? That's a 69 with a finger up the butt.
go ahead and check me out of jail, and I'm good after that. No, bro, it don't work that way. Whatever fucking TV show you watching, they motherfuckers wrong. I don't even look at TV.
I can't hear
So
you.
whoever told you what you thinking, you're dead ass wrong. We're not going to go to no district attorney and say, can you go ahead and cut him a break because he gave us nothing? Nigga, don't work that way. What the fuck your life not working that way? It don't work that way. That's a fuck courtesy. You gotta get
Why can't I learn how to keep my mouth shut? So,
and that's just being real. Are we?
Did you hear Investigator Gaither back Detective Thorpe up and tell you, you got to give to get, and that's just being real?
Yeah, I just heard it.
Okay. Ms. Copeland, these are just some examples. The reality is the detectives in this case had been encouraging you to tell stories on others to get yourself out of trouble, correct?
For the 100th time, I've been telling you that.
You knew how to finesse on your own, right? But the detectives were also encouraging you to finesse, correct?
They were tricking me.
yeah. They needed him to say stuff even if he didn't know anything. So they knew he made stuff up.
Okay. As I understand it, Mr. Copeland, your testimony is that you told many lies in these interviews in 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to just review with you some of the lies that you told, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you. First of all, I want to talk to you about the gray infinity. Okay?
I'm listening.
All right. Through the questioning of the police, and I don't know, maybe through other information that you've been given, you're aware that there's a surveillance video of the shooting of Donovan Thomas, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're aware that the surveillance video shows a gray sedan, correct?
Yes.
And you're aware that the police believe it to be an Infiniti, correct?
They put it on the news.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask Mr. Kokomo to publish DS-19A, which is a clip from States 378 Yankee A, which is the January 11, 2015 interview, from 3/18/47 to 3/19/38.
I agree. He had the right, as did he do that? He had the right to not speak with them, and he knew that. Yeah. Folks, learn this. I invoke my Sixth Amendment right. I do not talk without my lawyer. These are just life advice, not legal advice. Do not talk without your lawyer present. General good advice. If you have friend's family who has a hard time keeping their trap shut in the presence of police officers. In my merch store, I have doormats that says, I invoke my Sixth Amendment right. Fifth Amendment. Well, no, Fifth Amendment is just to keep your mouth shut. Sixth Amendment is, yeah, isn't it? No wonder it doesn't sound. Sixth Amendment. Now, assistance of counsel is Sixth Amendment. Fifth Amendment is just to not incriminate yourself. Sixth Amendment is to not talk without presence of lawyer, your right to counsel. So two different things, I think. But use both. Use both. Sixth is a right to a lawyer. So. Okay, let's just continue.
Who's Walter Lee Maddox? Who's Walter Maddox? No, y'all. Did y'all ever rent or own an Infinity? Infinity. Y'all ever rent one of those cars before? Have you ever stopped in an Infinity before? Yeah. Ever accident in an Infinity? No. The maximum? Have I ever had a cover again? No. Anytime. I had coverage in the Pontiac. That was a couple years ago. I ain't had no coverage. I ain't had no red leaf. I ain't had no money.
Okay, this is the same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
Can you say it again?
This is the same night. This interview was the same night that Donovan Thomas was shot and killed, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And Detective Thorpe, you heard him. He asked if you've ever owned or rented an Infinity, correct?
That's what he said.
And you said no. Right? He asked if you ever wrecked an Infinity. Right?
Right.
And you said no.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to publish, Your Honor, with your permission, DS-19B, which is a clip from the same interview on 378 Yankee Alpha, States Exhibit 378 Yankee Alpha from 3:20:28 to 3:20:48. It's just 20 seconds.
There's a video?
Yes. 3:20:28 to 3:20:48.
Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray?
It's not playing.
Gray? Y'all ever?
Is it up now?
No.
Okay. Could you start it over?
Y'all ever had a Infinity Gray? A Gray Infinity Q45 before? A truck? No. A cup? Yeah. Like I know. Actually, but maybe his car, a red car he had rented or something like that. All right. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay. In that clip, again, Detective Thorpe asked you about what.
I don't know that word. Hopium channel? I don't know that word, hopium. For you who don't know, hi, I'm Nick. I do labor law. I'm an actual jurist. I'm not a lawyer, I'm a jurist. There's a difference because in Sweden, lawyer is a protected title, and I do not work as a lawyer, and therefore I can't call myself a lawyer. I do have a law degree. That way I can call myself a jurist.
That you ever had a Gray Infinity, correct?
Right.
And you said, not that I know of.
Right.
Okay. Those were your statements on January 11, 2015, hours after Donovan Thomas was shot, correct?
Right.
Okay. I want to talk about the reality. The reality is that you asked Jeffrey Williams to rent you a Gray Infinity, correct?
I'm listening.
Or I should say you asked him to rent you a car and it ended up being a Gray Infinity, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. The reality is that on the night of June 9th, going into the morning of June 10th, the same day that Donovan Thomas was shot, you were driving that Infinity on the highway, correct?
I don't know. I can't remember when I was driving it.
We just saw your testimony from earlier in this trial.
Yeah, but you being specific about the time. I don't know.
Okay. The reality is,
I don't know when I read on the expressway. That's what I'm saying.
okay. Do you agree that it was, I'm not asking for a time. Do you agree that it was on the evening of January 9th? It was nighttime that you wrecked.
It was nighttime.
You were speeding on the highway and you hit some cones.
I lost control, yeah.
And that was, I believe in your testimony, you said you wrecked the car. And let me be clear, Quindarius Zachary, Lil D from Cleveland. You know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Lil D from Cleveland was in that car, that Infiniti, with you on the night you wrecked.
Yes.
Okay. And after wrecking the car, you guys reattached the bumper on the side of the highway, correct?
How you know that?
Is it true?
I'm listening.
Okay. And after you reattached the bumper, that's when you went and pulled up on threat, Trevante Turner, at a music studio somewhere around Northside Drive, I believe is what you said.
Yes.
Correct?
Not all of this I remember from testimony. So Schardt has clearly information from somewhere else, I think, but the state isn't objecting. So I guess it's in.
And you gave that car that Infiniti to Trevante Turner.
Yes.
Okay. And in your testimony, you said, then you went home, fell asleep, and the next day you woke up, and that's when the Donovan Thomas shooting occurred, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just working through this with you. I'm not trying to trick you. So based on your testimony, you were driving that car, that Infiniti, on the evening of January 9th going into January 10th, correct?
I guess.
Of 2015 with Mr. Zachary.
I guess.
Another thing that is really interesting here is I believe Mr. Schardt is blessed by God, because apparently he cured Woody's memory loss. Isn't that amazing? Woody starts to remember things. That good for you, Mr. Schardt. And also, he's applied. This is a slow cooker method. He started out slow, very considerate, got Woody to start answering with right. I mean, all of that. It's from, as Brandon said, it's from Discovery. The state just didn't bring it up. And some of his reading abilities has clearly improved, and his hearing at points is also clearly improved. So I will next time I'm in Atlanta, I will ask for a meeting with Mr. Schardt so he can put his hands on my knees. So yeah, I mean, this is a slow cooker. He's slowly but steadily applying more and more pressure. Now, Woody is a clever guy. Not education, no apparent education and such things, but it's not dumb. Absolutely not dumb.
And you gave that Infiniti to your good friend, Threat, in the early morning hours of January 10th, 2015, correct?
I gave it to him at nighttime. It was dark.
Okay. So you don't remember if it was before midnight or after midnight. Is that what you're saying?
I don't keep up with the time.
Okay, that's fine. The bottom line is you were specifically asked about that Infiniti or Infiniti hours after Donovan Thomas was shot. And you denied ever being in possession of an Infiniti, correct?
Say that again.
When you were asked on January 11th, early in the morning, talking to Detective Thorpe, when Detective Thorpe, the lead investigator of the Donovan Thomas murder, asked you about possessing a gray Infiniti, you denied that you ever had one, correct?
Right.
Okay. Let's talk about the gun at the Dunbar Rec Center. As I understand your testimony, or as I understand your statements, let me back up. I'm sorry. At the Dunbar Rec Center, we're talking about a Diamondback 223 assault rifle, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so we're not talking about a handgun. We're talking about is it semi-automatic machine gun? Is that a fair assessment?
A chopper.
A chopper. Okay. And in your statements back in 2015, you repeatedly denied possession of that gun, didn't you?
They put it on me.
Okay. And your testimony actually here today is that you were just there playing basketball and they put it on you.
That's what the video would show.
Okay. You specifically said in your statements when you were trying to get out of jail, I ain't do nothing, right?
Right.
Okay. The reality is that you pled to that case in federal court, correct?
Yes.
Okay. In federal court, you acknowledged possessing that gun.
Yes.
Okay. And you were sentenced.
Yes.
Okay. And and to be fair to you, you served your sentence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about the stolen IDs in the rental car and the laptop in the apartment on June 10, 2015. Okay. And that's the day that the federal agents kicked into Sean's door and locked you up. And that's also the same day that you made up the story and lied and said Demekion Garlington told you that Shannon and others were responsible for killing Donovan Thomas, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you play DS23I for me, Mr. Kokomo, and that's States Exhibit 378 Yankee Echo from June 10th, 2015 from 11:25:01 to 11:26:20.
I like how the defense is really, because the prosecution, they played all of it. Now, Sean is playing snippets of it with the explanation what is said, and then asking the question in form of, so he's reading into the record their interpretation of what was said, because I don't hear all of it. But as you remember, maybe, I was in the courtroom on the 14th of August, and the sound is much better in the courtroom. Much, much better. And thank you to Brandon. $20 via PayPal. Messages for the 68. Remember the neighborhood. Oh, thank you so much, Brandon.
I didn't say that. You said, I said you beat that shit. Yeah. Okay. So you want to know them? Need to hit the read. Little Mike.
Pause.
Can you play it again?
Yes, we can.
Like I said, I didn't say that. You said, I said you beat that shit. Yeah. Okay. So you want to know them? Need to hit the read. Little Mike. Little Mike, please.
In that clip, you're being asked about how those stolen items ended up in your apartment and your rental car, correct?
Yes.
And you're telling the investigators that you didn't do those auto breakings that resulted in those items being stolen, correct?
Right.
You're saying it was Little Mike and Quez from Etheridge?
Yes.
Okay.
You ain't never heard of them? You ain't never heard of them? They whatever they call you about them. Anyway, you put out the other day my five times with y'all and that.
There's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers out there.
I'm gonna know too.
You.
Well,
Why you gotta go?
I don't know why I got to come trying to use out for what that means. Maybe you went out for.
Wanna save money out there?
No, just like how did you get it? Shit, then I got it. When they bought the cup, Tay bought the cup at you. Wait a minute, Tay brought it to you. Yeah.
Lizzie, bro.
No. You know what I'm about. You talking about Javante? Yeah. You let Javante use the car? Yeah, he's supposed to kill him. You know what I'm saying? But when they pull their car, I let him go.
Okay. There you're saying that you gave the car to Javante, who gave it to Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you would agree that Detectives Gaither and Dennis are telling you we've never even heard of Lil Mike and Quez, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, Lil Mike is not a real person, is he?
No.
That was a finesse. You invented a person out of thin air, correct?
Yes.
Quez is not a real person. You invented him out of thin air on the spot, correct?
Yes.
You invented those people to take the heat off of you and put it on.
All right. Yeah, sorry, boomer moment. Yes, I know. But Woody invented people to put the blame on. And I can bet money the investigators, even if they didn't know, they found out. Prosecution knew. And they still put him on the stand. And as Commissioner Sleer said, Woody has cost the state months of this trial and a recused judge, and the end result, no help to the case at all. At best, just a waste of time. Oh. I think Kat said someone named Quez was arrested shortly after that. So he made it up, and then somebody had the name. Oh. Yeah, well, this is the state's case, y'all. Garbage, rumors, bingo lady gossip. That's the entirety of the state's case.
Fictional characters.
I done told y'all that's what I do.
That's your finesse, right? The reality is that stolen merchandise was found in your apartment and in your rental car, and you invented fictional characters to take the heat off yourself, right? I know you're going to say, I told you that's what I do.
I guess.
But I got to ask the questions. You understand? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. October 27, 2021. Okay. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Mr. Copeland, I am handing you what's been marked DS25C. Do you recognize the people in that photograph?
Yes.
Okay, and who are those people?
Me and the police.
Okay, and do you know either of the police officers' names?
Miss V, and I think that the white man named Kelly, something like that.
Okay, could the Caucasian gentleman be known as Investigator Kettle?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, and Ms. V is Investigator Viverito?
Yeah, the probation officer.
Okay. And are you in an interrogation room in that photo?
Yes.
Okay, and is that a photo from the interrogation of you on October 27, 2021?
Yes.
Okay, and at this time, Your Honor, I would ask to admit DS25C into evidence.
All right.
Mr.
submitted.
Kokomo, could you publish that? Okay, and like I asked you about the photo from June 10, 2015, I'm going to ask about this photo as well. You don't appear to be wearing a Fulton County blue uniform, are you?
No.
Okay, and I can't tell if were your arms shackled together during that interview?
My leg.
All right, and we see you're wearing Timberland boots, and we see a chain right next to the boot, correct?
It's on my leg.
Right, and that's shackling you to the ground.
Yes.
You are under arrest in this photo.
Yes.
Okay, and you know that you are soon to be wearing a Fulton County blue uniform, correct?
That's what he told me.
Okay. And the allegations of that case were you were pulled over at Atlantic Station in Atlanta, correct?
No,
Where were you?
walking.
Okay, you were walking. All right. According to the police, they searched a car that they were saying was yours, right?
Yes,
And they found a handgun under the car seat, correct?
that's what they claim.
Okay. And you were a convicted felon, so you're not allowed to possess the handgun.
But I was walking.
Okay, I understand that's what you're saying. But you were charged with reckless conduct and possession of firearm by a convicted felon, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I was charged with driving with suspended license and a firearm.
Okay. Thank you for that correction. When you say firearm, you're talking about possession of firearm by a convicted felon.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a little complication with that explanation. You were in fact searched after you were arrested, correct?
I was tased and everything.
Okay. And when the police searched your clothing, correct?
Yes.
And they actually found a magazine in your pocket and bullets in your pocket, correct?
That's what they say.
In the pocket of the pants you were wearing,
That's
correct?
what they say.
Okay.
I mean, Woody is under immunity. You could say, yeah. But he says that's what they say. So now I believe Woody is noticing the change in pressure from Mr. Schardt. And by the way, these investigators, if it wasn't for the chain, I would be wondering who's who in this picture. Who are the investigator, who are the thingies, and who is the, yeah.
And when I say a magazine, that's a component of a gun that holds the bullets, correct?
I guess.
Okay. All right. Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS25B, which is from 10/27/21 interview from 2/23/05 to 2/23/58?
I don't think that video has been tendered and admitted.
Has it, do you know?
It has not.
I am asking to, well, I'll go about this a different way. Thank you, Ms.
I don't have an objection. I'm just saying it's
Well,
not admitted.
I might not need to play the video. Mr. Copeland, do you remember in that interview, you were asked about if that's not your gun in the car, and if you were just walking, why do you have a magazine with bullets in your pocket? Correct? You remember them asking you that?
Can I speak to my lawyer?
Yes. Well,
Yes, you can. Let's take a break anyway. We'll take about 15 minutes.
Yeah. Woody is noticing the pressure. Good choice, Woody. Talk to your lawyer. Okay. And pause. And
Some questions.
here they are back.
Another hour or hour and a half. Okay. And then the state thinks redirect of,
This is the good thing about recap. I can skip the pauses and the things and the non-important things. Wood is back.
timing's going to be. Okay. All right. Let's get Mr. Copeland back in, get the jury.
And everybody stands up. Jury is coming in.
broke.
Go ahead, Mr. Schardt.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Copeland, before we broke, we were talking about the October 27, 2021 interview with Investigator Viverito and Investigator Kettle, correct? Okay. And you were being accused of possession of a firearm and driving offenses.
Yes.
And in that statement you gave on October 27, 2021, okay, you were denying possessing the firearm that was found in the car that they said was being driven by you.
Yes.
Okay. And what I was asking you about is about your pockets being searched after your arrest, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. And the reality is the police did search your pockets and they found a magazine and some bullets. And Investigator Viverito told you that, correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. You told Investigator Viverito that the magazine and the bullets were in your pocket because you had just grabbed someone else's pants and put them on, correct?
Yes.
Mom, I promise I only held it for a friend. Oh, wow. Yeah. So he put on somebody else's pants that just happened to have a magazine and rounds in it. Yeah.
The reality, Mr. Copeland, is that those were your pants.
Prove it.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did you plead guilty to possessing a firearm in case 22 SC 182134 on June 28, 2023?
I play NOLO.
Okay. And that was involving this incident, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Fair enough. Going to ask you about the shooting of Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop. Okay. Is that okay?
No.
Okay. Well, I got to do it. You're aware that Rich Homie.
Yeah. Woody noticed the pressure. He talked to his lawyer. And then that comment, prove it. Yeah. Okay. This will be interesting in the final hour or something.
Kwan's father does own a barbershop in Atlanta, correct?
I guess.
Okay. 2014, someone shot up Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And this was a big deal. Rich Homie Kwan, at least at that time, was a well-known rapper.
I'm listening.
Okay. And Rich.
Okay. Schardt is also noticing that Woody. Hold on, let me get Mr. Jingles off of Woody's head. Now Schardt notice, okay, now Woody is clamming up. Time to apply more pressure. I'm assuming he's going with things that is already known, that is already either Woody has testified to, or he simply don't care anymore. Now it's time to apply full pressure.
Rich Homie Kwan was trying to find answers to who shot up his father's barbershop, correct? I mean, he came to you for answers.
All right.
You knew Rich Homie Kwan, right?
Something like that.
Okay. And he came to you for answers, and he told you that he thought Trevante Turner, threat, shot up his father's barbershop.
Right.
And you took it upon yourself to convince Rich Homie Kwan that it was not threat.
Right.
And you did that, at least partially, because you knew that Rich Homie Kwan was thinking about putting money on Threat's head, correct?
I'm listening.
And when I say money on Threat's head, taking out a contract to have to have Trevante Turner, Threat, killed.
I'm listening.
25,000, right?
I'm listening.
Okay. On January 28th, 2015, you were asked by investigator Dennis about the shooting of Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop, correct?
You say when?
January 28th, 2015, during the interviews that we've been talking about.
All right.
Okay. The interviews that you've said you lied in, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask to publish DS22A, which is States 378 Yankee Bravo. And the time is 7:24:00 to 7:27:30. All right.
Now we are nearing the things when I got home
Okay, on the
yesterday.
screen, that's you, Investigator Dennis.
Now we're nearing the point where I got home yesterday. I've caught the final half hour, 45 minutes or something. And so I know where it goes. but I haven't actually heard this part.
This investigator Gaither, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Then Rich on the corner, like, you got 25,000 here, take killed. It's
Like
like,
from the picture you just showed?
nah, tell you who just got shot the other night.
Oh, in the car over
Yeah.
there, okay.
He got 25,000 here.
We're gonna get to Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop in a second. Trevante Turner is now sadly deceased, correct? All right. When you were talking about him being shot back in 2015, he was also shot in 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that was Shell Kel who shot?
I'm not for sure who shot him.
Okay.
Take killed.
Who did?
This Rich on the corner shit. Cause he be telling me. So I'm telling Rich on the corner, like, but you got these niggas in your house. He's saying you got shit on my house, bro.
Right.
Rich on the corner, like, he like, bro, they just look like that, bro. Like, we saying shit. Like, but still, bro, you out here hating these niggas, this and that. So Rich on the corner, like, bro, it ain't get, we saying shit, I just can't turn my back on. Like, it ain't get, bro. You support these niggas, bro. So the more you support them, the more they gonna come out and do that. If you leave them alone.
And in there, we still haven't gotten to the barbershop part, but in there, you're talking about conversations with Rich Homie Quan and his problems being linked to the Bloods, correct?
I guess.
Okay, and Rich Homie Quan not really being built like that.
For sure.
Okay. And the fact that he was scared to leave the Bloods, but in your opinion, they wanted to use Rich Homie Quan for his money.
I'm talking to the police.
Okay. But that's what's being discussed.
All right.
I'm not saying it's the truth. That's what's being discussed, though.
All right.
Okay.
Then everything gonna go away. Yeah. Then you're like, bro, just protect me, bro. We need y'all, bro. I need y'all to protect me. How the hell we gonna protect you? You and these niggas out here doing it. Then you're like, so you shot my truck, bro. Backside of the truck. Man, you know what I mean? You been around. Like, nah, I'll just ask. You went there like this.
What did he have a 25 to do say here for?
Say, your daddy got shot.
Rico.
It's my shop. You like how they say my name? On back here, they say Tay name. They saying Tay did. I know Tay.
And just so we're clear, you said Rich Homie Quan's daddy got shot. So it wasn't just a barbershop that was shot. His barbershop was shot, but he actually got shot in the barbershop, correct?
I don't know nothing about all that.
Okay. Well, that's what you said. You said that Rich Homie
Talk to the police again.
Okay.
Yeah, but you also testified last week, was it? Or earlier this week? No, last week. You and Fred shot up his Rich Homie Quan's dad's barbershop. You already admitted to it, and you have immunity for it. Congratulations, Woody. I mean, here, even with the disrespect for human life, or whatever translation there is for it, that would be at the border of attempted murder. I don't know if it is because you have a complete disregard for the eventuality that there are people inside a building. So that would be attempted, maybe shot with attempted murder here in Sweden, which has a 10-year statute of limitations. I don't know what the statute of limitations for it is in the United States. But he has immunity for it, so he could say more or less whatever he wants, except two things. I plead the fifth, and I did not. That's the two things you can't say.
Can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm lying to saying Tay say like, I know Tay ain't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before we just hit the point.
Yeah, who did it?
Somebody else did some.
Spit it out.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be some nigga that had money over there. You know what I'm saying?
They got money.
No, I'm talking bankhead.
A lot of niggas back here got money.
That's why when I started thinking, I couldn't think of the name, but this nigga supposed to have paid somebody on Johnson Road on one of them streets over there to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
To kill him in retaliation, to get that Quan? What started his daddy?
Like the same day, I was in the street, I seen Quan crying. Oh, bro. And he tried to kill him dead. You know what I'm saying? But him and Tate didn't have a problem. So that's why you think.
Okay. And you just, about 15 seconds before we paused it, you were talking about who shot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop, Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop. And you said a man from Bankhead with money hired someone from Johnson Road to do it, right?
I'm listening.
Is that correct?
Yeah, and he is not immune for prosecution. His immunity is only that any prosecution can't use what he says in this trial on the stand. They can use stuff he said in interviews. They could use stuff he posted himself. Or they can just tell an investigator. For instance, a federal prosecutor can tell his investigators, don't use this, but find everything else. Yeah, I know he has use immunity, but that immunity is only for state crimes, and only for. So he may very well be immune for by the things he says here. He's not immune from prosecution, which they actually told him he had. But thank you so much, Emmanuel McRae, for your support of this channel. And then again, they know he's a liar. He finesses things, so it's hard to make out anything from what he says.
Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Okay. Somebody from Bankhead, and when you say Bankhead, you're talking about Donald Lee Hollowell Road, right?
I guess.
Okay, well, you said it. Bankhead means street.
Bankhead mean the area.
Okay. That area off of Bankhead. And he paid someone from Johnson Road to shoot up Rich Homie
I
Quan.
ain't pay nobody to do nothing.
I didn't say you.
Oh,
The person from Bankhead with money, according to you in this interview, person from Bankhead with money paid someone from Johnson Road to shoot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop.
again, I'm talking to the police.
Okay.
Tape. Right. Him going through it, him and Tape murder each other. But he don't even know they tape. Right. How y'all have a problem? But Tape is a school boy. Mm-hmm. And they feel like they retaliation. Man, it ain't. But I couldn't say him because no matter how many times I tried to speak up Tape, he always had in his head. Tape did. Right. So like, man, y'all tripping, man.
So that's what that was about the other day.
I called.
Sorry. A bit correction here. The judge didn't say it's federal and state total immunity. She implied it and handed it over to Miss Hilton, who also implied it, but they didn't say it out loud. And from hearing from local lawyers and other attorneys, he is not immune for prosecution, no matter what the judge and what Miss Hilton said.
I said, you know, I was going to hesitate, but I had Tape put on me like Friday or Thursday or Friday. Tape pulled out like, bro, bitch, I'm calling at $25,000 on your head.
Why so much?
He's scared of Tape. Yeah. He really scared. He's scared of Tape. So I said, Tape, like, bro, he trying to face my thing. Rich Homie Quan's supposed to go and care. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like this was it, but the whole time you been having money on Tape's head, and he ain't do it. So when he go and demand out, that's what happened. That's on him. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't talk to Tape. So I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. But I knew Tape was missing nobody. Tape started doing whatever he's doing. He just ran around and they trying to get around.
Okay. So let's unravel. And I'm not saying, Mr. Copeland, please understand, I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm just talking about what you told the police.
I told you, I told the police anything.
I understand. I understand that. Okay. But I'm just want to talk about what you said. I'm not saying it's the truth. In that story that you gave the police, you were saying that Rich Homie Quan was convinced that Trevante Turner, Tay, shot up his father's barbershop.
What I'm saying is, you think I'm letting somebody hurt my partner? So if I'm having a conversation with Rich Homie and he trying to put some money on my friend, you think I'm gonna really have that conversation with him? It don't make any sense.
Okay, but can I finish my question? So what you told the police, not saying it's the truth, what you told the police is that you talked to Rich Homie Quan and tried to convince him that Tay did not shoot up his father's barbershop because Rich Homie Quan had $25,000 on his head, right? That's what you told the police.
Never put the police on what's going on. Mislead police. That's my always the mindset.
I got you.
All right, you keep talking about what I told him.
I understand. I think we're all on the same page.
We can't be.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Let's play the next clip. DS24B, which is 378 Yankee Delta. It's from February 21st, 2015, from 4/12/10 to 4/16.
Now, Schardt is at the point where it doesn't matter what his answer is. Schardt is there to zealously defend his client. That's his only objection. That is his only goal, to defend Shannon Stillwell, also known as Shannon Jackson. So we are at the point where Attorney Schardt does not care what Woody answers. He has pampered enough. Now it's turning up the heat.
You playing the video?
Yes. Thank you.
Don't try to resolve the problem at hand. And I told you, the only way for you to start resolving, to get this shit started and resolving it, is you gotta talk to her straight up. That's it. You gotta talk to her straight up. Because if you're not, it's just gonna continue and continue and continue. And I hate to see you or anybody else come up there behind the bullets because everybody want to be going to the streets. And
The Trump court they kill the shoot Tay out he going up. They treat Tay over there. I don't know name like they're hiding.
Not saying it's true. You told Investigator Gaither that Rich Homie Quan paid Shell Kell, to shoot Tay. Correct?
That's what I said.
Okay.
And then when Tay pulled to pick somebody up. But when Tay pulled and give it a call, they come back out to the station. Then my so-called sister, not my mama child, somebody from Northern, but go around telling folks that I shot a house up. When she know the whole time they shit Tay up. So you see what I gotta go to though? Hold on, let me get this straight. You said Quan paid who? Kill to shoot that Tay. To kill Tay. To kill Tay. How much for it? They supposed to be $25,000. Did he get it? I told Tay before that. I told Tay, don't pull up on me. Tay pull up on me. I said, bro, look, bro. I love you there, bro. You gotta wait, bro. Bitch, I'm a coin, goddamn. He wants you dead, bro. Why though? Cause somebody tried to reach on the corner, they about shot. Right. They think it was Tay, right? Yeah, they think it was Tay. I'm on the corner. It wasn't Tay. Who was it? I don't know. Then the crazy thing about it, they like as I was listening, they were speaking on it like it's what we saw out Bankhead with some money. I don't know who his name was, who he is. I never heard. I heard the name, but I can't think what it is. But I know if I was to hear it, I know. But he supposed to have paid somebody to do it. But I'm telling you, on the corner, like, I know Tay ain't do it. You know, they ain't Tay not just gonna walk up and shoot nobody. So he like, well, I'm telling you, it was Tay. I'm like, no, it wasn't. He like, man, I'm like, well, no, it wasn't. But I'm not allowed.
All right. So in that interview on a different day, you're again talking about the shooting of the Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop and of Rich Homie Quan's father, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. And again, what you just said on that tape was someone from Bankhead with some money paid someone to do it, right?
Right.
Okay. So in two separate interviews, you told detectives that someone from Bankhead with some money hired someone from Johnson Road to shoot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop. Rich Homie Quan's father's barbershop, correct?
I'm listening.
Is that correct? You said that in two different interviews. Okay. Now, the reality, Mr. Copeland, is once you are given immunity as a witness in this case, you testified in court earlier when Ms. Hilton was asking questions that it was in fact you and Trevante Turner who shot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop, didn't you?
How many times we gonna go over this?
You and Trevante Turner, in fact, shot up Rich Homie Quan's barbershop, correct?
I'm listening.
The reality, Mr. Copeland,
Here we
is
go.
the 25K on someone's head was completely made up by you, correct?
Here we go.
The reality is the somebody from Bankhead with some money, those details, somebody from Bankhead with money, that was completely made up. Correct?
Right?
The reality is someone from Johnson Road being hired, and you would recognize their name if you heard it. All that was made up on the spot, on the fly, in the mind of Kenneth Copeland, wasn't it?
Right?
That was you finessing. Just like Lil Mike and Quez were made up on the spot. The man from Bankhead with money, the man from Johnson Road were made up characters.
I done told y'all 100 times I don't lie. You seem right here keep trying to throw it in my face. I don't admit it till I lied.
I'm not trying to throw it in your face, Mr. Copeland. I'm giving you an opportunity to come clean.
I thought I did that.
Okay.
Yeah. Heat is turning up. Now, Mr. Schardt, he has taken it easy up until maybe 15 minutes ago. Now, it really doesn't matter what Woody says. I enjoy this type of cross-examination. I also appreciate how Woody is aware. Woody is street smart. He has been in situations. He's been with cops, lawyers, attorneys, judges. He knows what's going on. He can't do anything about it. But that's not Attorney Schardt's problem. He's there to get information out into the ears and minds of the jurors. And the prosecution, their objections are few.
Are these the type of details? You remember when you talked about details make your lies more believable to the police? Lil Quez from Etheridge, Mike, or Lil Mike from Etheridge, Quez from Etheridge, man on Bankhead with money, man from Johnson Road. I would remember his name if someone said it. Are those the type of little details that you add to your finesse to make it more believable to the police?
Sound like it.
I'm going to move on to another topic, okay? Your Honor, may I approach the witness with DS-30? Mr. Copeland, I'm asking you to look at DS-30. Do you recognize the person on the right of that photograph?
On who right?
On your right.
Yeah.
That's Donovan Thomas, correct?
There's no.
Okay, you call him not. And in that photograph, is that a fair and accurate representation of Donovan Thomas? That's a picture of him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and is he wearing a chain in that photograph?
Look like it.
And that chain is in fact a peanut chain, correct?
I can't tell.
Well, okay, you're familiar with his chain, correct?
It's a peanut chain.
Thank you. Your Honor, I would move to admit DS-30 into evidence.
Admitted.
Mr. Kokomo, if you could publish that picture, please.
Oh, we are way past the not used part. And there's almost twice as many in the viewers now than back then. So yes, we went through the not used part. We went through the 68 part. This is Mr. Schardt doing all the things. But for you who weren't here an hour ago, I asked an AI songwriting app to do this.
Drip drop, water cold as the night clock. Slipping on the tile, ain't a friendly spot. Steamy like the sun up, but the vibe ain't hot. Speakers sitting high, say a prayer on the dot. Voices echo out like a haunted house. Shivers down the spine, can't escape the mouse. Eyes shifting fast like a powder warehouse. Back against the wall, that's the jailhouse joust. Nut juice dripping, man, it's slipping on the ground. Ain't no innocence here, everybody's down. Bars might close in, but we're still battling the sound. Showers turn to prisons and the lost and the found.
Yeah. I like my AI music writer thingy app. And if you want to listen to this tune, it is as a short on my channel on YouTube. Let's continue, because now Mr. Schardt is turning the heat and the volume up to 11.
Hanging from Mr. Thomas's neck is essentially what the Planter's Peanut Man. It's a chain of the Planter's Peanut Man. And that is Donovan Thomas's chain, and that is a chain that he owned in 2015, correct?
I guess.
And he owned it in 2014 as well, correct?
Shit, I guess.
Okay. You are aware that in late 2014, Donovan Thomas's chain went missing, correct? Right? Someone stole it.
If that's what you want to call it.
Okay. Do you remember on January 11, 2015, the day you went to talk to Detective Thorpe? Detective Thorpe asked you about your relationship with Donovan Thomas, right?
Our relation?
Okay. Mr. Kokomo, could you publish DS 18A, which is States 378 Yankee Alpha, which is January 11, 2015, 3:14:23 to 3:14:36. It's just 13 seconds, if you could listen.
I talked first, they said, why was I didn't do it. I never had problems with it. Ain't never had 2 words to each other. Me and that was always okay. You know what I'm saying? Only person I had a problem with was Kid. I don't really be with him. When we see each other, it's done together. When they be with him.
Okay, Mr. Kokomo, could you now publish DS 18B, which is from January 11th, 2015, 3:20:50 to 3:21:04 a.m.
So, we never had a problem with that. Never in life. Okay. Never cool. Okay. We just had a problem with Brother Kid. Yes. Scrap Kid on it. So you bitch.
Mr. Kokomo, could you publish DS 18C, which is from the same interview, same exhibit, 3:30:31 to 3:31:02?
I messed up on them, so I got you. Yeah, so they got the ass with you. But I know that they saying like, I didn't know that, I did something. I know that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go to jail, I ain't trying to jail, I ain't trying to go to nobody's room, none of this. Me and nothing, never had a problem. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, I put show to you. A person come to my kitchen and say, you gonna die tonight. They come to my kitchen and say, your history work, bitch, you gonna die.
And finally, Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS 18D, which is from the same interview, 3:41:50 to 3:42:45 a.m.
I don't know what to do, but I didn't do it. Like, I'm lost. Like right now, man, I really am, man. I'm scared. I'm lost. I always wonder, I can't even think, man. Like, I don't know what to do, man. I don't, man. Cause my name come like everything, I'll be saying with. But now somebody's dead, and I know how I feel to lose one. You know what I'm saying? I was my close friend. You know what I'm saying? And now, they showing up people's mama house and stuff like that, but like, and it ain't even dead. It's a game. It's the whole clip. You know what I'm saying? They beat. You know what I'm saying? That's all things with film on my cause now I gotta watch out for everywhere I go. I have to watch out, man. It ain't nothing I can do about it, man. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I didn't kill him. I didn't have him killed. I ain't never tried to fight him. I ain't never tried to rob him. I ain't never done nothing to nothing.
In that January 11th interview, you stated to Detective Thorpe on 4 different occasions that you never had any problem with Nut, that you and Nut were okay, correct?
I'm listening.
Okay. You specifically said, I've never tried to fight him. I've never tried to rob him. I've never tried to do nothing to Nut. Right? Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask Mr. Kokomo to publish DS-21, which is States 378 Yankee Beta from 8/11/50 to 8/13/18. Hold on one second, Mr. Kokomo. And Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm going to ask a couple questions first. Going to your January 28, 2015 interview. Well, in general.
Let's just get to your question. You want to know, did I take the change?
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. But in 2014, Donovan Thomas's chain went missing, was stolen out of his car, correct?
Right.
All right. To people in hip hop, a chain is a very personal thing, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know that? Okay. Mr. Kokomo, if you could publish DS-21.
Like, and then, like, you had somebody broke in that up and gave me the phone and the jury. But I realized I was sick. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? Ain't nothing shit. But I called him. Hey, man, I got your shit right here. Pull up on me. He come pull up on me. But before I gave back to him, I already hit Timmy. And he was taking the care, like, come on, bro, I introduced you to these folks, bro. You just took them out. And he was like, he said, big paragraph, careless.
Yeah. How did Nut's chain end up in Woody's possession? Let's listen and learn.
Like, man, nigga, look, you what up? You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm out here, nigga, you ain't doing it for me. Yeah, this one ring. You know what I'm saying? So, nuts and big paragraph, more paragraph. Tell it, man. Like, you ain't say that, man. Fuck you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But nut pull up. Don't nobody know you. You know what I'm saying? Nut pull up. Him and Grease. Man, nut got to shut up. Like, right here, you stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? He like, how you get it, bro? I ain't want to tell him. One of the young niggas on the deal broke in his car.
Okay. In that story, you were saying that someone stole a chain from Nut, correct? The peanut chain.
Yeah.
And that person, and not only his chain, but his ID, his wallet, his phone, correct?
Right.
And that person happened to give you Donovan Thomas's belongings.
Right.
And you said, you told the police, you realized it was Donovan Thomas's chain. And you called Nut and wanted to return his stuff, right? And specifically, right before we paused it, you said you didn't want to tell Donovan Thomas who took it, right?
Right.
You wouldn't want to tell Donovan Thomas who took it because Donovan Thomas is what some people might say is the big homie, right? He's a gang leader. You don't just take Donovan Thomas's chain and it's all cool, correct?
And no objection from the state when Attorney Schardt says Nut is a gang leader. He's a big homie. And not an objection from the state. After the state have tried over and over again to paint Donovan Thomas as quite a clean guy. They had his dad on the stand. Yeah, that's gone. That is gone now. I don't know. I don't know Donovan Thomas. I don't know his relationship with the Atlanta gangs. But I do know that the state did not object to Donovan Thomas being called a big homie and a gang leader.
I don't know.
Well, that's why you wouldn't want to tell Donovan Thomas who took it, correct? You'd want to protect whoever took that chain. You wouldn't want Donovan Thomas gunning for that person for disrespecting his property, right?
Right.
Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS24D, which is states 378 Yankee Delta, which is from February 21st, 2015. And this is from 5:37:44 to 5:40:26.
But I was finding this year in Canada at night.
It's not paying.
Don't pull up that one day.
Is it popped up now?
No.
You started again, Mr. Kokomo.
There you go.
But
Thank you.
I was finding this year in Canada at night. Don't pull up that one day. Somebody had one little punk broke in the car. Stole his chain, his phone, his ID, my driver's license. And I gave it back to him. Like, I got it. Man, it's nut shit, nigga. Yeah. My reason I was gonna give me some back for it. I called him, hey man, I got the shit, bro. Like, for real, bro? Like, yeah. Like, where you at? I'm out here in McKenzie. I'm on my way to McKenzie. He like, all right, call me, get out there. So he called me back, like, shit, I'm here, they waiting now. He's like, all right. So when I get out there, I call him. He's like, pull up at 95. Like, shit, I ain't got no ride now. I got dropped out like about 4. So I just pull up with that. I like to pull up, like, I got a pump from the player. He pull up, bag in, hand me fit. Shit, she got it, bro. Vic sent for you, what's up, bro? She nut things, like, here you go, bro. You ready? Down you up. Give him down. The shoulder thing. So when I get him down. But I was finding on this year in Canada at night.
Again, on February 21st, 2015, you're telling that investigator about your partner stealing from Donovan Thomas and then giving you the chain and the phone and the wallet, and then you returning it back to Donovan Thomas, right? And you dapped him up, and you and Donovan Thomas were all good, right? Okay. January 11th, 2015, you repeatedly said you had no problems with Donovan Thomas, right? January 28th, you talked about the chain. It was someone else that took it. You returned it to Donovan Thomas, wouldn't tell him who took it, but y'all were all good, right? February 21st, 2015, you again repeated that story about one of your partners taking the chain and ending up in your hands. You returned it to Donovan Thomas. You dap him up. You're all good, right? Mr. Copeland, the reality is late in 2014, you broke into Donovan Thomas's truck. Isn't that correct?
The door was open.
The reality is you knew that was Donovan Thomas's truck. You know what he drove.
The door was open. Yeah. So here we go. Woody wasn't good with Donovan Thomas. Not good at all. You can almost say that Donovan Thomas was really bad with Woody. And Woody is a survivor. He does everything he can to stay out of jail, and he does everything he can to survive. Doesn't he?
Right? You went into his truck and took his peanut chain, right? You knew it was Donovan Thomas's peanut chain, but you didn't care. You wanted to disrespect Donovan Thomas. You wanted to take his stuff. Isn't that correct?
It wasn't about disrespecting him.
The reality is, Mr. Copeland, that Donovan Thomas called his phone and you answered. Isn't that correct?
Oopsie.
Yeah.
The reality is you knew that Donovan Thomas knew that you stole his stuff.
I ain't still.
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
The reality is that you knew you bit off more than you could chew.
What you mean by that?
Donovan Thomas was coming after you.
Objection, speculation. That kind of evidence, relevance.
Sustained.
The reality is you made up this whole story about returning his chain, about your partner breaking in, and all the rest to try to throw Donovan Thomas off of your scent. Correct? But Donovan Thomas knew.
Objection, speculation. Vague.
Sustained.
When you told Detective Thorpe on January 11th, 2015, that you ain't never have no problems with Donovan Thomas, that you and Nut were cool. You never brought up the chain, did you?
For what?
When you said you ain't never tried to rob him, you ain't done nothing to Donovan Thomas, you never brought up the chain, did you?
That ain't robbery.
You and Donovan Thomas were far from cool.
Yeah, Mr. Schardt does not care if what he says is objected to and sustained. He doesn't care what the answer is. He's there to make a point, to bring forward a theory. Yeah, Woody isn't on trial, but Shannon Stillwell is. And Mr. Schardt is zealously advocating for his client. He doesn't care what Woody says or not. Woody has immunity for what he is saying on this stand. So, yeah, Woody isn't on trial. He will probably never be on trial for Donovan Thomas because of how the investigation was botched, how the prosecution has now, a prior prosecutor charged Nut, dismissed. A prior prosecutor charged Mr. Stillwell, dismissed. And now they are making a third attempt and is ruining everything. So the chances of Mr. Thomas' murder being solved in a court of law is basically zero at this point. But Schardt is there to defend his client, and he's doing a damn good job at it.
TIG stands for Think It's a Game, correct? Ms. Copeland, TIG is Think It's a Game, correct?
You know it.
Okay. That's a record label?
I guess.
That's a record label that Donovan Thomas was associated with, correct?
I guess.
It's run out of Summerhill
I don't know.
neighborhood in Atlanta. Mr. Bennett, also known as Lucci, wrapped under that label. Think It's a Game, correct?
I guess.
Okay. Think It's a Game had a studio on Metropolitan Avenue in Atlanta back in 2015, correct?
I guess.
You may.
Mr. Copeland, I'm going to ask you to look at DS31. Do you recognize DS31?
Yeah.
Okay. That is the building that housed TIG Studios back in 2015, correct?
I guess.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask that DS31 be put into evidence, be admitted into evidence.
All right, it's admitted.
That's the studio that Lucci went to make songs, correct?
I guess.
That's the studio that Donovan Thomas would be at, correct?
I guess.
That's the studio that Rich Homie Quan would be at, correct?
I guess.
Okay. You are aware that on January 8th, 2015, late at night on January 8th, 2015, the TIG studios were shot up, correct? Do you know that, right?
I'm listening.
You are aware that Rich Homie Quan's truck was struck by bullets on January 8th, 2015. His windshield was shot out, correct?
You don't know.
You're aware that Donovan Thomas was present at TIG Studios on January 8th, 2015. Isn't that true?
I don't hang up there.
DS22B, please, Mr. Kokomo. I would like to publish, Your Honor, DS22B, which is from January 28, 2015 interview, states Exhibit 378 Yankee Beta 72439 to 72506.
All right.
from. Like, it ain't that, bro. You support these niggas, bro. So the more you support them, the more they gonna come out and do that. If you leave them alone, then everything gonna go away. Yeah. And you're like, oh, just protect me, bro. We need y'all, bro. I need y'all to protect me. How the hell we gonna protect me? You and these niggas out here doing it. Then you're like, so you shot my truck, bro? That's out of the truck. Man, you know what I mean? You been a...
You are talking to the police about Rich Homie Quan asking you if you shot up his truck, correct? In that interview.
That's what he just said.
Okay. I'm gonna play this one.
I'll do it. You went there like this.
What did he have a 25 on to do? Take it from.
That's it. So, Rich Homie Quan questioned you about whether you were the person that was outside the TIG studio shooting up in that studio on January 8th, 2015. Isn't that correct?
You can't question me.
Okay. Take the court's indulgence.
Might be new evidence, but nobody's objecting.
Not talking about what you told the police. I'm talking about reality now. On January 6th, 2015, you were at Club Crucial.
I'm listening.
You were in possession of a large amount of money and you were showing off in front of a bunch of people that knew you, in front of a bunch of girls, correct?
I'm listening.
In front of all these people at this club, Kelvin Watts, Shell Kell, Donovan Thomas's brother, jumped you, correct?
I'm listening.
He tested you. He started punching you. He tried to take your stuff. He gave you a black eye.
He punched me in the back. He didn't hit me he didn't face me off.
Okay. Well, you had a swollen face.
Because another nigga hit me.
Okay. Who was with Shell Kell?
What's up, bro?
He was with Shell Kell, the other person that hit you?
Obviously, he went with me.
These men, Shell Kell and his friends, tested you publicly in front of a bunch of people, in front of a bunch of girls, correct? They tried to run your pockets, right?
I'm listening.
Pardon my language, it pissed you off.
Just like you is.
Okay.
Yeah, Wood is not happy now. He was pissed off being jumped, and he's pissed off at Mr. Schardt now going deep into what may or may not have happened regarding the murder of Donovan Thomas.
2 days later, on January 8th, 2015, you found out that Nut and Rich Homie Quan were outside the TIG studios on Metropolitan Avenue, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You got in that rented Infiniti and drove up to that studio, didn't you?
Your Honor, objection, assuming facts not in evidence.
I'll allow it.
You took your gun with you.
And now the judge is interested as well. Because Schardt has been leading up to this all along. Now, all of a sudden, the prosecution realizes, oh crap, he went there? That wasn't supposed to happen. It's too late. It's too late. It's already getting in.
You stood outside the fence and you shot at TIG Studios. And you put a bullet in Rich Homie Quan's truck. Did you not?
You got proof?
Y'all got proof? Doesn't matter. This is not an interrogation. This is not an investigator investigating Mr. Woody. This is Mr. Schardt laying foundation, and he has been doing this all along, painting a picture for the jury. All along. This is really good. Is it correct? Don't know. Don't care. This is about reasonable doubt in the ears of the jury.
Was Trevante with you when you went to the TIG studios?
Did you got proof?
All right, we're going to change the subject, Mr. Copeland.
All right.
To your understanding, now you pled to the possession of a firearm case from 2021. You pled to that recently, or this year.
Say that again.
You pled to that case this year, correct? Earlier this year, the possession of firearm that you were interviewed about on October 27, 2021.
I don't know if it was this year or last year.
Okay, fair enough. To your understanding, you still have a pending matter in front of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, correct?
Shit, I ain't no telling. I don't know.
Well, you discussed it. You gave an interview with the Danza Project recently, right?
Right.
All right, and you discussed a pending matter where your understanding is you are charged with filing a false report.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. To your understanding, you're charged with false report of a crime and false statements, 2 felonies, correct?
Right.
And the allegation is that while you're at Fulton County Jail,
Relevance as to the specific conduct or specific, an improper impeachment as to the specific extrinsic evidence of the specific incident that occurred.
Okay, I can't really hear you very well, but I think we might need to approach about this anyway.
Oh, Miss Hilton is panicking. I have no idea what she tried to object to, but she threw everything out there and hoped that something would stick. Now, oh, for frick's sake. What happened? Where were we? I pressed the wrong button. Where were we? Darn it. I need to check the stream. What the actual time was on that one. Sorry, folks. I did a boo-boo. 7:47. No. Yeah, 7:47. Darn it. All right. I boomed. I pressed the wrong button. I was just trying to skip forward, and I skipped all the way to the beginning of. And yeah, you all know what's coming. You all know what's coming. It is sidebar counter 226. Oh, 226 sidebars. I might have missed a handful, but I do believe I'm quite close to the actual number of sidebars in this trial. Oh, all right. Let's get back to this. Skipping forward. When did they start again? Skipping. Here we go.
What? That won't do much good then.
27A and DS 27B.
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, could you just look at those two documents? Do you recognize those documents?
I've seen it before, yeah.
Are those the arrest warrants taken out for you for false report of a crime and false statements that you believe?
Yeah. Remember when Mr. Melnick emailed and told the prosecution, you're going to get him killed? You have put a target on his back? That was not because of the defendants. It's about the rest of Atlanta. Has nothing to do with the defendants, because people have been snitching all over apparently regarding YSL, and nothing have happened. The real gangs of Atlanta, they might be, because for me, Nutt's murder will probably go unsolved. As Commissioner Sleer says, Nutt's friends and relatives, that's a whole other question. That's a whole other question. Let's get back to the thing.
Are still pending against you?
Yeah.
Okay. And briefly, the allegation is that, well, Your Honor, I would move to admit DS 27A and DS 27B into evidence.
Yeah, we reject the admission of those two exhibits. We can ask the question, but exhibit, given, impeach them with the exhibits.
They're admitted over objection.
Mr. Copeland, briefly, the allegations against you that you believe are pending are that you accused a jail worker or a deputy of spraying with OC spray at the jail, right? And the deputies, the supervisors, reviewed the videotape from the jail and determined that the jail worker did not have OC spray on her and did not spray you with any OC spray in the jail. Isn't that correct?
Right?
Did you know that the state, while this trial was going on, dismissed that case against you?
I didn't know that.
I brought you good news. May I approach with 27C?
You may.
Apparently nobody told Woody those charges are temporarily dismissed.
Does that document?
They are temporarily dismissed. And nobody told him. Probably the state didn't even tell Mr. Melnick that those charges are temporarily dismissed. They had this hanging over his head all this time and didn't tell him the charges was temporarily dropped. And who did that? Guess who? Fani Willis. Fani Willis dropped those charges. That's her signature on those papers. That conniving, sleeping with a married man, lying in church person, never told Woody those pending charges were dropped.
And say state of Georgia versus Kenneth Copeland?
I think.
Okay. That document indicates. Can I approach?
You may.
Correct me if I'm wrong, does this document say the facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest. The decision of the district attorney at this time is not to prosecute the above named defendant. Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Okay. It says the reasons for this decision are as follows. Prosecutorial discretion. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
the person whose name is on this document is Fonnie T. Willis, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That document does not indicate that your pending charges for false report of a crime and false statement, they don't indicate that those are dismissed forever, just for now, at this time, correct?
I guess.
Okay. And nothing in that document says, we dismiss this case because we were wrong, Mr. Copeland's innocent. It said prosecutorial discretion, correct?
What they mean?
Okay. It means they just made the decision to do it.
All right, that we can strike that part. Ask your next question.
Isn't it true? And you just found out that this was dismissed today, but isn't it true that while you were on the state's witness list to testify in this case, the state was simultaneously, at the same time, prosecuting you for false statements and false report of a crime? Isn't that true?
Tell me so I can understand.
They were calling you a liar at the same time that they were asking this jury to believe what you're saying. Isn't that true?
Oh, yeah.
Schardt is the only time he's not pounding down the nails on Woody is the time when he's pounding down the nails on the prosecution.
Let's talk about your immunity agreement with the state. They told you in that June 10th, 2024 meeting that you did not ask for, that any crime that you talked about, they were not going to prosecute you for, correct?
Yeah.
You can talk about shooting Rich Homie Kwan's dad's barbershop. You can talk about shooting Rich Homie Kwan's father. They're not going to prosecute you for those things, right? That's what they told you. That's the promise they made to you, correct?
Characterization of the evidence.
Sustained.
Is that your understanding?
Nothing I say can be used against me.
Okay. There's one exception.
If I say that I did, yeah.
Okay. The Donovan Thomas thing.
Yes.
Mr. Copeland, you don't know
I missed where the judge said that thing. Let me go back a few seconds.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. The Donovan Thomas thing.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Copeland, you don't know any of these gentlemen back here to have a personal beef with Donovan Thomas, do you?
What you mean?
Back in 2015, you didn't know any of these gentlemen to have a personal beef with Donovan Thomas.
I never said I did.
Okay. The reality, Mr. Copeland, is you were the person who had a problem with Donovan Thomas. Isn't that correct? You were the one that broke into Donovan Thomas's car, correct?
So in fact, not in evidence.
Overruled.
You've admitted to it. You're the one that stole Donovan Thomas's chain, correct? Ms. Copeland, you're the one that shot up Donovan Thomas's friend, Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop in 2014, correct? You're the one that was going back and forth with Donovan Thomas's brother, Kelvin Watts, correct? You've called his brother a waste of space in October 2021, didn't you?
Mr. Copeland's not answering the question, and so
Yeah,
he needs a
apparently
response.
Mr. Schardt doesn't care whether he answers or not, so it's fine with me.
fine
If
with
he
me
wants
too.
an answer, he can say that.
You called Kelvin Watts a waste of space in October 2021, didn't you?
And I don't think nobody walking earth would not agree with it.
You said that people would cheer if he died. Correct?
I will. Back in the days.
You've shot at Donovan Thomas's brother, Kelvin Watts, correct? You're the one who got jumped by Donovan Thomas's brother on January 6, 2015 at Club Crucial, correct? You, not any of these gentlemen. Right? And you're the one that shot up TIG recording studio on January 8th, 2015. Isn't that correct? Let me ask you something, Mr. Copeland. You were asked about the Green Store by Attorney Steele, right? The Green Store, you're familiar?
Yeah.
That's actually called Mommy's Grocery and Deli on Glen Street, correct?
I guess.
Okay. You estimated that the driving time is 5 minutes. The truth is, to get from the Green Store to where Donovan Thomas was gunned down, you have to drive a couple 100 feet on Glen Street and take a right onto McDaniel, correct? That's how you get there, right over the tracks. The truth is, it takes less than a minute to make that drive. Isn't that correct? Mr. Kokomo, could you publish DS24F? This is February 21st, 2015, 378 Yankee Delta from 622.59 to 624.01.
Mr. Schardt has laid this up this entire time, and it took Woody up until maybe 45 minutes an hour to get a hold of it, to understand that. And it took the prosecution even longer to realize what was going on. And now it's too late. It's all in there. It's out there. Here's the thing. I don't know if Woody did it. He might have, probably didn't. I don't know. That's not the issue here, folks. The issue here is Shannon Stillwell did not. Who did it? That's for the cops to investigate. And the crooked cops of Fulton County are bad at their job.
I got somebody, I don't know his name, he ill and he called the night, well, I forgot what they got killed with.
And we're going to start it over, Mr. Copeland, because I didn't provide any context. You spoke on a gang meeting that the Bloods had about you on that Thursday before Donovan Thomas was killed, correct? Mr. Kokomo, could you play DS24?
I got somebody, I don't know his name, I got somebody, I don't know his name, he ill and he called the night, well, I forgot what they got killed with. It was a Friday night. It was a Thursday night. Mm-hmm. They had a barbecue. The barbecue just about it was blood. Everything blood. Mm-hmm. Then the whole meeting was based upon me. They was all in there talking about this and this, talking about this and this. So the nigga Mo was on the phone. So Mo told everybody, all I need, every last one of y'all, whoever 90s scraps here, whoever that was the nickname, supposed to kill me. They gave all them guns. The same night they gave them all guns. Say treat me to a gas station and kill me. I forgot what else. But he called and told me everything. He said, "Is this person a friend of yours?"
Thank you again, Catnot Williams, for gifted 10 memberships. I know you were aiming for Otto, but they were given to David Cox, SR, Raymond Godfrey, What the F, Wigs and Wine, Steve Kirkland, DA, Toys Toy, Tua Toys, Antonio Lee, and Grant Daly. And then she gifted 10 more. Jesus Christ. To Chloe Albert's Revenge, Plant Agent, Chris Sawyer, Lulunis, D. Peel, Fire and Ice, Notes Taken, J. Cares, Sandra. I don't know, Otto, have the press the Chat, wait. I appreciate it, but maybe Otto hasn't pressed the thing so he can receive. So Otto, press the gift thingy up there. When you do that, it should come up as an option of receiving gifted memberships. And Kat just gifted 5 more. To Mac Ruda, Victoria, Tracy Fagan, Karen James, and Britt Sherry. Aww. In the beginning, let's see, it's only a couple of days until it is September. Then I get 10 more memberships to give out for free. But thank you so much, Kat, not Williams. You've gifted 45 memberships today. Thank you so much. Oh. But we have to continue with this because I'm supposed to be somewhere right about now, so we need to get through this. Thank you again.
The Bloods had a gang meeting on the Thursday before Donovan Thomas was killed, 2 days before, on the same day that you shot up TIG Studios. Isn't that correct?
I don't know what you're talking about.
In that statement to the police, you said that the whole meeting was based on me. Not them, on you. That Mo, from behind the wall, had put the green light on you. Not anyone else. He put the green light on you for what was going on with you. The guy who stole from Donovan Thomas. The guy who shot up the studio with Rich Homie Quan and Donovan Thomas in the studio that night.
Yeah, objection, I was assuming facts not in the evidence and harassment of their witness.
Overruled.
You've told the police at that meeting, Donovan Thomas went whoop, approved of the orders to kill you. You told the police that the gang members handed out guns to younger people. And the plan was to trick you to come to the gas station. And the only reason you weren't killed is because someone told you about it. In January 2015, Donovan Thomas was coming after you.
Objection, speculation, again, assuming facts not in evidence.
Sustained.
Mr. Copeland, you're not the type of guy to back down, are you? No further questions.
All right. Okay, I know that the state is going to have redirect, but I think it's going to last longer than we've got for this evening. So we will come back on Tuesday of next week to finish up with Mr. Copeland. So Mr. Copeland, if you can be back here with us at 9 a.m. on Tuesday of next week.
You be blessed.
All right.
Ooh. That was a really, really good cross-examination where Mr. Schardt got his point out. Now, did Woody do it? Don't know. I honestly, at this point, I don't care. And the prosecution finally started objecting. Schardt didn't care. The jury still heard it. And I do believe that this will be really hard for the prosecution to recuperate from. I don't know how they will ever succeed in doing it at all. In my opinion, on Tuesday morning, they should go to the judge and say, we are dropping the Donovan Thomas murder charge in the indictment. Because I don't know how. Now, when we go into technicalities, yes, there is enough, because it goes to credibility, yada, yada, yada. There is enough when you talk, when everything is at the prosecution's most favorable. Yeah, there is enough for the jury to come to a determination. I don't think this should be taken to the jury. This charge is gone, in my opinion. Really gone. Yeah, as Magruder says, immunity backfired. Didn't say, Schardt couldn't say it. And Schardt didn't say it out loud because he doesn't have to. He just need to put it into the jury's head. This was an amazing cross-examination from Steele, from Weinstein, from Brown, from everybody. Masterful. And this is what you get when you have this tier of attorneys. So, yeah, this has been amazing to watch. Okay. I mean, I almost got goosebumps. Now, again, do I believe that Woody did it? I don't know. I don't care. This trial is about the guilt or innocence of these defendants and nothing else. Nothing else. But I need to get going because I should have been somewhere right now that is 20 minutes away. So I need to get there. But all I need to say to you guys is thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you for allowing me to try to interpret this trial to you. Thank you for going with the snark, going with my sideshows, so to speak. Oh, I'm nowhere near green, Casper. So this stream isn't monetized, but you have been so generous today. So it doesn't matter. Now, if you still want to support this channel, you can go to one of my, I have a playlist called Fulton County Fails, which is different other stuff they have done wrong in this. And watch those videos. Get me some ad revenue. I have posted it in the chat now. So that is one way you can support me, by watching my videos. Oh, is Cadnot Williams having a premiere? Hold on. Dun, dun, dun. Customization. Redirect. Where is it? I don't think I can. No. No, I can't redirect to a premiere. I can only redirect from a premiere. So sadly, I can't do that. So I will be sending you off to Mo in the Deep End, who has some kind of questions and answers. But Casper has the link for you there in the chat. But again, everybody, thank you. Let's see. Let's see the Paul End and who ended not. Last place with 7%, Stilwell. Third place, Not is alive, living in Ibiza, 8%. Internal bloods thing, 13%. And with 70%, Woody. But as I said, I don't know, and I really don't care, because this trial is about the guilt or innocence towards these defendants. So, folks, thank you. And hug your family. Unless your family is crap, then screw them and give your love to the people who deserve it. All right? Tomorrow, Friday panel show with Catnot Williams and the usual suspects. So I will see you all back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Drip drop, water cold as the night clock. Slipping on the tile, ain't a friendly spot. Steamy like the sun up, but the vibe ain't hot. Speakers sitting high, say a prayer on the dot. Voices echo out like a haunted house. Shivers down the spine, can't escape the mouse. Eyes shifting fast like a powder warehouse. Back against the wall, that's the jailhouse joust. Nut juice dripping, man, it's slipping on the ground. Ain't no innocence here, everybody's down. Bars might close in, but we're still battling the sound. Showers turn to prisons and the lost and the found.